Happy Father's Day to my favorite little guys. Oh, don't cry. Daddy's got you. Best Father's Day ever. Huge. Little Barack, little Sleepy Joe, one day you're going to grow up to be the two worst things that's ever happened to America. Little Barry, you're going to end up marrying a man that claims she's a woman. And Joe, little Sleepy Joe, you're going to give birth to a crackhead. And me, well, I'm going to clean up the mess you both made. There, my little guys. Daddy's got you. Why? Wow!
Wow, that's awesome. Happy Father's Day, everybody. How's it going? How's it going? Everybody, what's up? How you doing? Hey, not that Karen. Great to see you. Essie Gatlin, how you doing? Moving over to Rumble. I don't watch on YouTube if you're on Rumble. I think there is Bella. There she is. There's Bella, just chillinating. Miss Hacker, great to see you. Well, hello. Happy Father's Day to all the guys and moms who had to do both roles. Yes. Yes. To all the moms that had to be a dad and all the dads who had to be a mom. Happy Father's Day to both. It's hola amigos. What's up, 04 Lightning fan? How you doing? Great to see you. Sherry Gatlin. There he is. There's Sherry Gatlin. She's over there. And now she's over here. She's there. And she's here. Thank you so much. Neat Scholar. What's up? Well, for a minute, I thought I missed the whole show already. Turns out you ain't even started it. Yeah, I don't know. I was going to not stream. And then I was debating on what to stream about. And I thought about it. And I was like, I'll stream. You know, I almost was going to do like some kind of like share the link out and have people join. But then I don't know. It probably would have went bad fast. But NASCAR Mo's here too. What's up? Hello, Jim and friends. Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. Thank you. Margie's here too. Happy Father's Day. Kevin, what's up? Happy Father's Day. Jay Schwartz, good evening. I have my notification turned on so I don't miss your show. That's awesome, Mr. Schwartz. Hey, Doc, what's up? How you doing? Les Pauls Jr. says, looks like Colombia elected new presidente. Hopefully Colombians, especially the legal ones, will start remigrating. Afuera. Well, we'll try. None of your business. What's up? Good to see you. Sneaky Sean's here too. That's right. I think that's everybody so far. Awesome. Awesome. Sylvia's here too. That's awesome. Yes, hit the like button. That's right. I have Iran fatigue. Is that even a thing? I think it is. I have it too, but you know, we got to talk about it. Did Iran seriously walk out? Supposedly they walked out, and then supposedly they walked back in. We'll see. We'll talk about it. Iowa Backyard Cams was great to see you too. Pam Graham's here too. Awesome. Thanks for being here. Jedi Master, what's up? Good to see you. Good evening, folks. Yes, that's right. So we're going to start the show. We're going to get into the news. All right. We're going to get right in. Before we get in, though, we got to talk about the goal because, you know, hey, it's Father's Day, so got to talk about it. Iran is not to be trusted ever. This is a waste. Yeah, I know. It's Happy Father's Day. Thank you so much. So, the show is going to be about 2 hours, somewhere between 2 and 2.5 hours long, unless we hit the goal, which is $100 in total across all platforms, YouTube Super Chats, Rumble Rants, becoming a member or gifting a membership on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, or Twitch, along with Locals Coins and Cash App, PayPal, Coffee, Ko-Fi, and Super Tips. We add it all up, and we hit 100. We add an extra hour, and then for each additional $100 that comes in, we add an additional hour to the show. So the show could be 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, as long as you guys want it to be. It's totally up to you. And as an added bonus, when we hit 50, we activate Bellavision for the evening. You can see her there. She's getting ready. She's getting rested up, ready for all her tricks that she's getting ready to do when she gets brought onto the stage. So, yeah. But if somebody is so generous that they donate $20 an individual, then we automatically activate Bellavision for the evening. That's how that works. All right. So here we go into the news story. I'm so happy you're here. Happy Father's Day. Well, thank you so much, Renee. Yes. How could it be a ceasefire if Iran's not controlling Hezbollah? Well, that's the thing. Do they control Hezbollah? I don't know. I mean, I would think if there's some shit going on with Hezbollah that somebody would say something like they would get communications and they will track it down. So J.D. Vance's role in Iran negotiation continues to fuel 2028 speculation. What?
Welcome to the Patriot Perspective. Today,
No, never mind. So how? This is not what it was supposed to be. This was not supposed to be the first story. This is. All right, here we go. J.D. Vance says U.S. is willing to fundamentally transform Iran's relationship ahead of the peace deal negotiations in Switzerland. That was supposed to be it. Hey, thank you so much. Iranian delegation walked out of the meeting. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for that 10. That means, folks, we're now just 90 away from adding a first additional hour and just 40 away from Bellavision. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. The delegation reviews photo ops and shaking hands. Not going to end well unless we chicken out again. Well, I hope you're not right. I don't know. I don't want to chicken out. So Goldie and her co-host talked about Iranian chatter that the delegation seen shaking hands with people who killed the martyrs would not like what happens when they get back. Yeah. That's been reported a lot of places. I don't know what this is. Why this was not what it was supposed to be. It was not what it was when I pulled it up. But thank you so much. Yeah. All right. Mm-hmm. So here we go. What is wrong? Something's wrong with my computer. It's like stalling. It's like dragging. So J.D. Vance, Vice President J.D. Vance declared that the Trump administration's goal is to transform our relationship with Iran during his opening remarks in Switzerland on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Vance stressed that in order to do this, Washington needs ironclad commitments from the Islamic Republic to give up its aspirations to obtain a nuclear weapon, and something that Tehran has long claimed that it's not pursuing. The chicks on the right have almost lost me with their constant Rubio 2028 fandom. It's only 2026. Stay focused on the midterms, everyone. Yes, the midterms are really important. What's your opinion, Jim? How do you think these talks are going to go? I don't like the games Iran's playing. I think, and I've said this since like a while now, I think they haven't been punished enough. That whatever you want to call it. I think it's gonna take some more warheads on foreheads. You know what I'm saying? Before they're ready to cry uncle, because if anything happens, like we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. So the president's asked us to turn over a new leaf and transform our relationship with the people of Iran and to extend an outstretched hand. Yes, that's what they want to do, an outstretched hand. How am I using 33% of my memory? That doesn't make no sense. That doesn't even make no sense. We got a memory leak somewhere. So if they're willing to give up nuclear weapons for the ambitions for the long term, then the United States is willing to fundamentally transform our relationship. Vance's remarks came as the first rounds of talks with Iran under the MOU have kicked off in Switzerland. There has been some delays to the clashes. So the opening of the Strait of Hormuz, so a 14-point plan was laid out between them, adding a 60-day time limit to hash some stuff out. So he's opening of the strait, the ending of the nuclear program. All these things have been accomplished. The question before us is how much more can we accomplish together? So can we turn over and leave? Can we change relations in the Middle East permanently? Or do we go back to doing things the old way, which is not our preference? So Vice President's public olive branch to Iran drew sharp contrast with President Trump's fiery rhetoric towards the regime. Trump claimed he spoke with Iranian officials ahead of Vance's meeting. He said, you close it, you won't have a country. That's what, you won't even make it back to your effing country. Yeah, that's what, we're going to get to that. That's more of a story. I don't know why they think these things are not, what happened to the focus on the algae? I don't know. It wasn't in the news today. Iran will last long enough for us all to forget like Iraq was. Oh man, Kabuki, I won't forget. I will not forget. Iran already violated the Strait of Hormuz part. Well, somebody announced out over a radio that they were closing the strait, but as far as I know, they didn't stop any ships or do anything. So there's that. And then this happened. Hezbollah fired more than 50 projectiles at Israeli troops. This happened today. Stories appearing in the world originate from aggregated news feed. Hezbollah overnight Friday and Saturday launched 50 projectiles at Israel. In response, the IDF struck dozens of infrastructure targets. The IDF will not tolerate attacks against Israeli civilians or IDF soldiers. So Israel's attacking back. All right. And then President Trump comes back with this.
Top of the hour. Good morning to those of you just joining us. It is 9 a.m. on June 21st. This is Fox and Friends. Just moments ago, Vice President J.D. Vance meeting with leaders from Qatar and Pakistan in Lucerne, Switzerland, as peace talks are underway. Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yingst is live in Tel Aviv with some breaking news and reaction. Hi, Trey.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. I just spoke with President Trump for more than 20 minutes, and he gave some new insight and reaction about the ongoing talks that are taking place in Switzerland and the threats coming from the Iranian regime. President Trump telling Fox News that the U.S. may take over the strait in the future if they have to and collect tolls. The president described this as the United States being the guardian angel of the Strait of Hormuz and the Middle East. And the president said ultimately that would involve the U.S. taking 20% of the oil that passes through the strait. Remember, this comes in reaction to the Iranians saying they will close the Strait of Hormuz in response to Israeli strikes against Hezbollah in Lebanon. President Trump tells Fox News he spoke with Iranian officials overnight and said, you close it and you won't have a country. He went on to tell these officials, you won't even make it back to your effing country.
Whoa.
Now, earlier today, Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian said this about Iranian enrichment of uranium. The president also reacting to that. Take a listen.
We will not give up our right to enrichment, and they, too, will be forced to accept it. You all know what the so-called President of the United States was saying. He had made a complete 100-degree turn. He was saying that Iran must surrender unconditionally. Iran has no right to do this. It has no right to do that.
President Trump, during our call, responded directly to those comments by Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian. President Trump told Fox News he better watch his mouth, he better shape up, or we'll take over the rest of the country. And so clearly the president reacting directly to these comments from Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian. And also President Trump talked about the broader memorandum of understanding, indicating this is just a ceasefire extension. This is not the final deal with the Iranian regime. And the president says he holds the cards and maintains a variety of options if the Iranians don't make these serious commitments at the negotiating table. He said, I have a 60-day option and I can do whatever I want after that option. So again, President Trump leaving a variety of considerations on the table and says that the United States could become the guardian angel of the Strait of Hormuz and collect tolls itself while taking oil around 20%, the president says. As it relates to oil, President Trump also said that 19 million barrels of crude oil exited the Persian Gulf yesterday as a result of this memorandum of understanding with the Iranians. Guys?
So, Trey, as always, a fascinating report and fascinating interview you just had with President Trump. When he says something like the United States will be the guardian angel of Strait of Hormuz and that the United States reserves the option of taking 20% of the oil that passes through there, is that a message as much to Iran as it is to other world leaders around the globe that you need to participate in this and help us make sure that the strait remains open to the free passage of oil?
Yeah, absolutely. Because remember, during Operation Epic Fury, President Trump called on these other countries to get involved because the United States uses just a few percentage points of its oil that actually comes out of the Persian Gulf. And these other countries didn't want to get directly involved in securing this critical international waterway. It was only after the fact that they actually were offering to help and send military reinforcements. It was the U.S. military, the U.S. Navy specifically, that put that significant economic pressure on the Iranian regime by closing Iranian ports. They were losing hundreds of millions of dollars every day. And again, this is what they consider.
That's a lot of money, hundreds of millions of dollars every day. I don't know. Is it like jerking? Is everything jerking for you guys? Because I'm seeing it jerk right now. I don't know what's going on with my computer. I hope it's not having a problem with it. Iran said that so many times, ships just ignore it. Yeah. Trump finally had enough. I doubt it. I hope he's had enough. Hey, 88th round. What's up? Thanks for being here, trying to catch up. Trump has a big stick, but never talks softly. Q Ed Was. Yeah, you know. Yep, he does. Teddy never talked that softly either. It's not talk softly, it's walk softly. Walk softly and carry a big stick. That was Teddy's. Walk, not talk softly. Walk softly. So walk softly and carry a big stick. That means sneak up on people and hit them with your stick. And I want to thank Nana 1776 for the $25 on Cash App, folks. That means we are now just $65 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you so much, Nana. That is awesome. It's not perfect, but not bad. Well, that's what I say. Hey, you're late, but catching up. Don't worry. We're not, we're moving a little fast. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Thank you, Joe. Thanks for being here, Lurch Linger. Yeah. Lady Bama, what's up, man? Lady Bama. Great folk. Great to see everybody. That's awesome. Thank you for being here. Declare the street in front of my house. I declare the street in front of my house closed. Yes. Yes. I declare bankruptcy. Just like that's from The Office. Remember that stuff? Yes. It was great. The Office.
Their leverage, because they lost so much on the battlefield, they are looking again to the Strait of Hormuz. And that is why you heard that statement from Iran's IRGC overnight, threatening to close the strait in response to Israeli strikes against Hezbollah in Lebanon. And again, President Trump tells Fox News, he told Iranian officials directly, you close it and you won't have a country. Now, I also asked the president about the situation in southern Lebanon and the exchange of fire between Israel and Hezbollah. Remember, 5 IDF soldiers were killed over the weekend by Hezbollah. The Israelis responded with a series of airstrikes across southern Lebanon. The president told me he is disappointed Israel can't put Hezbollah away. He went on to say they can't do anything without knocking buildings down, and that he is close to giving it to Syria. And he is talking about empowering Syrian President Ahmad al-Shara to actually go into southern Lebanon and fight Hezbollah, because the president believes that he would do a more precise job in terms of the way he would deal with Hezbollah, not knocking down buildings, but fighting them on the ground. And so, again, the president expressed what we had heard from President Trump just a week ago, his frustration, or better put, his disappointment with the Israelis and the way that they are fighting Hezbollah. Remember, 5 IDF soldiers were killed over the weekend by Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. Right. But again, when we zoom out here, there's a lot on the table. Yeah. And the president also spoke about the situation in Gaza. He said at this moment, Hamas is not causing a lot of problems in Gaza, and that the process needs to play out with the ceasefire agreement there. And that he says the focus should be on the agreement with Iran, because once Iran is taken care of, many of these other issues will fall into place. Guys.
Yeah, the president, based on what you're telling me, clearly sending a very strong message to Israel, saying it's too brutal the way you're handling it. I think an al-Qaeda guy can do it better, more precisely than you. Not a good look for Israel, for sure, in this. We had on the president earlier, Herzog from Israel, who spoke with Griff, and he said, he promised that they had no territorial ambitions in Lebanon.
It kind of seems like maybe just a little bit, possibly, that Israel does have some territorial ambitions. They're trying to claim like quite a bit of land in Lebanon. I mean, I understand they want a buffer to keep terrorists from attacking them, but you can't just go make buffers in other countries. I mean, can you? I don't know. Thank you, Mother Papillons. Happy Dad's Day. Thank you so much. And Phil Coggins says, I'm fashionably late. Well, don't worry. Kofi 2A's here over on the Kick. Thanks for being here, Kofi. Always holding it down over there in the Kick. It all reminds me of Homeland, the TV series that was on Showtime 10 years ago. Kind of, doesn't it? Syrians already said not their problem. Well, hey, Jim and chat. Stop by to say hello. Well, thank you for being here, Series of Bats. Good to see you. Trump detests gratuitous losses of life. So sad that more leaders don't share such concerns. Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? We're gonna get into it, man. We really are. We got a whole bunch of stuff lined up.
Or specifically in southern Lebanon, which would indicate that when this is over, they're going to return the land back to the Lebanese who have been displaced there. Now, we just saw J.D. Vance very diplomatically handling things in Lucerne, Switzerland, and then your conversation with the president, a lot more aggressive. Is this a case of good cop, bad cop?
I would say that the president is looking at the reality on the ground. And when the Iranians are making statements about closing the Strait of Hormuz, first of all, we know that that's propaganda because international shipping data indicates that many vessels are still passing through the Strait of Hormuz, this critical waterway. But the president clearly, he told Fox News, wanted to send a direct message to Iranian officials, even telling those officials, you won't even make it back to your country if you close the Strait of Hormuz. I think it's also important to note the fact that so much oil actually made it out yesterday, 19 million barrels, according to President Trump. That's a very significant number and an indication that there are still vessels leaving the Persian Gulf. And this is not talking specifically about Iranian ports. We're talking about these Gulf countries, allies of the United States. And the president said there was such a backlog of oil that it's now gushing out of the Persian Gulf. And you think about just how still things were in this region. And now that it is open again, these vessels can actually export this oil. But I think really an important point here is what the president is leaving on the table as it relates to the Strait of Hormuz. He says, we may take over the strait if we have to. I'll blow the S out of them. And he is talking about the fact that if the Iranians try to close the Strait of Hormuz, not only will the U.S. open the strait, they'll take control of the strait and be the guardian angels of the Strait of Hormuz and the Middle East, and then ultimately take a percentage of the...
I thought we already were. I mean, the United States is basically the only people that have been securing international shipping across, all the oceans. It's been the U.S. I mean, the British did it in the 1800s and 1900s pretty much up until like World War II, and then the British just stopped, and it became the U.S.'s problem. Basically, World War II, well, the U.S. was doing some stuff prior to World War II, like World War I we were doing, but it was kind of like a joint. Now it's the U.S. is the only country that protects shipping lanes. That's it. Am I going to cover Keir Starmer? Well, I mean, I do have the story in my stack. I've got like 18 stories in the stack. I don't know if we'll get to it. I mean, basically the coverage is that Trump says he's resigning, that he's leaving. So I don't know. It's supposed to be happening now-ish. I don't know. Like, I think it's 8 to 12 hours ahead of time in England. So maybe he's resigning now. I don't know.
The oil that is passing through. And again, this is an indication that President Trump is signaling to the Iranians that are currently at the table in Switzerland, make these concessions about your nuclear program, adhere to the memorandum of understanding, or there would be serious consequences that would actually reverse what they are trying to do, saying that if they don't make a deal, we'll collect tolls. The United States.
That's right. I mean, the U.S. could collect tolls. Trump has had enough. Push has come to shove. I'm ready for it. Iran's been dumping oil into the straits for weeks. Yeah, they've been just dumping it, just pouring it into the ocean. Hedy Lamar, awesome to have you here. So great. Thank you for being here. What if the Iranians blow up the wells or the terminals? Well, they could blow up their wells and terminals. It's not going to really, that's on them, the narrow one. That's going to hurt their country. Yeah, the wanker's going to go. Yeah, London is 5 hours ahead of the East Coast. Okay, I'm not a timeologist, so I don't keep track of international times like that. Coulter principle. Oh, we'll get to that. I always like Gundam's always got the good ones coming there. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that'll be something I'm going to get to, definitely. Trump yells too much. He should call his shots, as is a game of billiards. Yeah. The British sucked. They didn't do squat about the Barbary pirates we did. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Absence Minor? Great to see you. I've told you Fox is trash. They have a narrative and agenda as much as any of the left side news sources. Never forget it. I know they do. I play videos from them, and then we're going to read some stories, and we can dissect. Like, this guy says he talked to Trump, and Trump told him these things. So that's news. He says Trump told him that he's going to, that these people might not even make it back to their country. No problem, Hetty. That's awesome. It's an O-chronologist. Yeah, I know. I just didn't want to say it right. I don't understand how anyone can collect tolls in international waterways. Well, they tell people they have to pay. It's like basically piracy. That's basically piracy. That's what the pirates used to do. The Barbary pirates, they would make us pay. The different countries would pay a toll, basically a toll. You'd have to pay them in order to transit their waters. Everything for aircraft and pilots is in Zulu time, which is London time. Okay. Colombia elected new president, supposedly conservative, supposedly far right. We'll see. But I did also see some stories about it claiming that the current president, Petro, I think his name is, or something like that, Petro, is trying to get it overturned or something. He doesn't want them to come in. The British are the ones that created this whole Iran nightmare when they took out the Shah. Yeah, they did. So, yeah. So I think we've had enough of that. Oh, we did have another 5 come in. Oh, sorry. And that means right now we're 60 away because Lurch Linger gave 5 on the Cash App. We're now just 60 away from ending a first additional hour. I want to thank everybody so much. What do we have here? It's going to be my birthday in 5 minutes. Well, I'm going to have to sing to you. Like the LNG plant, Qatar had a fire, no injuries. Oof. That didn't, for some reason, that link did not work. So that link did not work. Check that link on them, Zig. It doesn't. Oh, wait. I think I know what it is. I got it. I think that worked. Maybe. No, didn't work. All right. My bad. That's Hadley. That's right. Happy birthday. It's Hadley. Yeah. Haha. Cha-ching. Thank you so much. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. There we go. All right. That one worked. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Hedley Lamar. It's your birthday, isn't it you? How old are you? How old are you? Happy birthday, Hedley Lamar. Happy birthday to you. So President Trump sends a major warning to Iran. We'll hit Iran very hard again. That's right. He says we ain't gonna mess around. We're done messing around. President Trump sent a stern warning to Iran after nearly a week after signing the MOU. President Trump has warned Iran to stop supporting proxies in Lebanon. The proxies President Trump is referring to are the Shia Muslim militant group Hezbollah, which receives millions of dollars in training from Iran every year. Recently, Iran's claimed it closed the Strait of Hormuz due to Israeli attacks against Hezbollah fighters in Lebanon. Yeah, Squeezy Bob says, happy birthday, happy birthday. President Trump has threatened to resume combat operations against Iran if they fail to rein in their proxies. Iran must immediately stop their highly paid proxies in Lebanon from causing trouble. If they don't, we will hit Iran again very hard, just like we did last week, only harder. Fox News reported about the secondary warning. Trump told Trey Yingst that he's going to blow the shit out of him. You close it, you won't have a country. You won't even make it back to your effing country. Okay. So, Trump said that the U.S. has been the guardian angel and 19 million barrels of oil made it through. I mean,
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. I just spoke with President Trump for more than 20 minutes, and he gave some new insight and reaction about the ongoing talks that are taking place in Switzerland and the threats coming from the Iranian regime. President Trump telling Fox News that the U.S. may take over the strait in the future if they have to and collect tolls. The president described this as the United States being the guardian angel of the Strait of Hormuz and the Middle East. And the president said ultimately that would involve the U.S. taking 20% of the oil that passes through the strait. Remember, this comes in reaction to the Iranians saying they will close the Strait of Hormuz in response to Israeli strikes against Hezbollah in Lebanon.
Well, so Israelis got to stop hitting Lebanon. This stuff's got to stop. Something's got to change. Something's got to change. Kimmy's here. Thank you for being here tonight, Kimmy Hunt. Thank you. Happy birthdays. Hippo birdies, 2 oohs, ooh-woos. Maybe you should change it. Jim, make a little bit of room for me tonight. Oh, I'm trying. When did newscasters start wearing T-shirts instead of suits? I believe this guy, Trey Yingst, is like they call it in a combat zone, so he gets a little pass on it. So yeah. What the president has asked us to do is turn over a new leaf and transform our relationship with the people of Iran. That's what they're going to try to do. So if they're willing to give up their nuclear ambitions for the long term, we are willing to fundamentally transform our relationship with the country. Well, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. You know, New York Post, fed up Trump threatens to blow the shit out of Iran, prompting Tehran to storm out of the U.S. peace talks. Ooh. So they stormed out. Trump floats 20% guardian angel tax. This is probably going to be the same. It's probably going to be the exact same thing we've watched. Yeah, exact same thing we watched. So wow. Iranian negotiators stormed out of the peace talks with the U.S. and Switzerland on Sunday after a frustrated President Trump unleashed his fury on the regime, threatening to seize the Strait of Hormuz and blow the shit out of them. Hey, look at this for Joe. Thank you. Happy Father's Day to all the dads. Thank you, Joe. What that means, we're now just $58 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you guys so much. Spuds, what's up? Good to see you. It's happy day to all the fathers. Where's this flak vest? I'm not sure. So how is Iran going to close the strait as they're going to blow up little rafts in a slingshot? I think so, Salty C. Something like that. Maybe. Well, Bella is snoring over there. Look at her moving, snoring. The talks were abandoned after just 80 minutes when discussions entered a difficult phase following an insulting message by the U.S. president. That's what Iran State News reported. Vance, who was spearheading, had earlier said the U.S. hoped to turn over a new leaf. The talks in the Qatari-owned mountaintop resort of Bergenstock in Switzerland. Wait a minute. The Qataris own a piece of Switzerland? Interesting. Were first to be held under the terms of the MOU agreed to a week ago. But hopes of progress were swiftly dashed and diplomatic efforts were cut off when Trump, who's been criticized for being too soft on the regime, warned that the U.S. would hammer Iran if it didn't open the strait and rein in its terrorist proxies. Well, I mean, they're talking about reining in the proxies. Not supposed to. The strait is open. President's most explicit warning was aimed directly at Tehran diplomats. You won't leave. You won't even make it back to your effing country. An irate Trump told Iran's leaders. Wow. You close it, you won't have a country. We may take over the strait. If we have to, I'll blow the shit out of them. Well, that's good. Switzerland is for sale. It seems like it must be for sale. It says Qatar bought the resort town of Bergenstock or whatever it was called. Hey, Spuds, thank you so much. One, Jim tells you. Thank you so much, Spuds. That means, folks, we are now just $52 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Moving right along there. Thank you, Spuds. Let's see who got it. Hey, hey, hey. It says that Shia Eisenman. Shia Eisenman. Oh, Shia Eisenman received a gifted membership from Spuds. Thank you so much, Spuds, for the gifted membership for Shia. Hey, hey, hey. Gave kind of a stupid giggle. Oh, I have a story. I don't know. We'll probably get to it. Hopefully we'll get to it. But Treasury Secretary Besson called Zelensky a cracked out Mr. Bean on crack or something like that. Yes, welcome to the JimSomniacs. Thank you. Thank you so much. Gray lady forever. Nah, someday you'll get it. Someday you'll get it. So the IRGC claimed that it was shutting down the strait due to the continued fighting in the Lebanon. Iran also came to the peace talks on Sunday wanting to prioritize discussions about Lebanon. Talks were supposed to address Tehran's nuclear program and reopening the strait. However, Iran said there could be no start until the fighting ends. Oh, really? Trump also took the truth to let out his rage, blaming Iran for the fighting and demanding the regime keep Hezbollah in line. I mean, if Iran can't control Hezbollah and get them to stop, then how is there can't be a deal. Iran must immediately stop their proxies. So we saw all this. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. And it says Iranian delegation continues negotiations despite Trump's threats. Per the Enforcer podcast, Russia has lost Crimea or close to it. I haven't heard anything like that. I haven't heard that they were even anywhere near close to losing Crimea. I mean, there's a big difference between Crimea and the Donbass. Is Israel's name on the treaty? I thought it was between Iran and the USA. Yeah, it is. But then Iran tried to put Lebanon in it. So then they're like, well, then Hezbollah's got to be in it. You got to control Hezbollah. There you go. Thanks for this. Thank you, Spuds. Thank you, Spuds. Yes, thank you for being here. So shortly after the start of the talks, the U.S. president threatened new attacks. The Iranian delegation left, and then they came back. So a few hours later, the Iranian foreign minister announced that a mechanism for safe passage through the strait has been agreed upon. But the technical teams continued their effort. Mediators, Qatar and Pakistan would publish a document outlining the agreed upon key points. This laid out the foundation for negotiations on a final agreement. Oh, hello. The Enforcer is 100% pro-Ukrainian. Enforcers are hacks. Okay. Yeah, losing Crimea, nice drugs. What a drone wave aimed at Moscow and Crimea. Was the drone wave aimed at Moscow and Crimea tonight? Who knows, man? Who knows? Thanks for being here too, America First. So the agreement is also intended to secure peace in Lebanon. Iran must immediately stop its highly paid proxy. We talk about that. Iran, U.S. agreed to a framework to end the war. And then Senator Lindsey Graham says that Iran peace talks will fail and Trump will take the Strait of Hormuz by force. Senator Lindsey Graham on Sunday said that he thinks the peace talks with Iran are going to fail and that the president's going to seize the strait by force. Finian's Rainbow for my birthday. I don't know that song. I'm sorry, I don't know. Crimea is never going with sleazy Zelensky. Yeah, I mean, Crimea voted to go with Russia. That was like in 2014. I don't understand how they would think they're going to lose Crimea. Graham applauded the president, all right, for trying to negotiate, but ultimately predicted that the 14-point memorandum of understanding signed last week, ushering in a 60-day peace period, won't be fruitful. I'd rather try diplomacy than take it off the table. If you don't have a diplomatic path, then you're going to have war or some other form of coercion. Let's try this. Let's try diplomatic. I think it's going to fail. Doc says, and the enforcer is pure retardium. Okay. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. No one asked, but if Jovi was POTUS, I'd call the Iran guy and tell him to call home and check their radar. See that, Mohammed? That's coming if you pull crap again. Nothing but bombers in the sky. Yeah, that would work. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. Graham warned that Trump will take control of the strait by force and obliterate Iran if talks collapse. I spent 4.5 hours with Trump on Friday, and here's what I think will happen next. If the deal fails, President Trump is going to take the strait over by force. If Iran contests control of the strait, we will obliterate them. Oh, that's pretty serious.
Good morning to you, Senator.
Good morning. Good morning.
There's a lot that still hasn't been figured out here in this deal, but you wrote 9 days ago the idea of a U.S. plan with partners to create a fund of at least $300 billion. This is point 6 in the memorandum, is tone deaf, and it's akin to a Marshall Plan for Germany with the Nazis still in charge. Why did you change your position and now you support it?
You're not wrong that he's a sleazy snake. I don't know why Trump, I don't know. He's done so much stuff to Trump. I don't understand why Trump is so honest with him. I mean, not honest, but so like loyal, like he backs him all the time. Man, I can't, it's nuts, man. It's nuts. Because like from what I'm hearing, what he said in the grand jury in Georgia, Trump should be pissed at him. I say tell the Arabs to go ahead and take control of the strait. We are out of here. That's not a bad idea, but it could go bad if they just broke out into like all-out war, and then the war spilled into Saudi Arabia and all the Gulf states, and basically no oil was coming out of the Middle East. Can you imagine what that would be like if there was no oil coming out of the Middle East at all? And none coming out of Saudi Arabia, none coming out of Iran, none coming out of Iraq, Kuwait, UAE. If it was just they were all at war with each other and no oil, that would be kind of bad. Just saying. Call Anton. Okay. Not this woman again. Who's the chicken red? I can't remember her name, but she's an ass. But I want to just hear a little bit of what Lindsey Graham is saying. Oh, that's right. And I want to remind everybody, how you feeling? Did you guys, they have a military. I know they have a military. I'm just saying if they're fighting, then there's no oil coming out because they're going to be battling each other, blowing each other's ships up and stuff like that. So if you guys like a little meat in your diet, you want, something to tide you over, per se, per chance. You spent $3.21 today for gas. Well, that's good. If it gets under $3, I think everything will be fine, per chance. You guys like a little meat, check out the King of Biltong over at www.biltongusa.com. All right. Check out Anton's Kitchen. He's got some great stuff. All right. And it's all made in the USA that Biltong is. It's really great. They got spicy stuff, peri peri. They got ghost. They got reaper flavor. They also have the drawers and the calabasi. They also have a bunch of other snacks and gifts and treats and candies from around the world to buy. So check them out, www.biltongusa.com. Tell them Jim sent you. Use promo code Jim. You'll save 10%. Get some of those 8-ounce bags and make excellent gifts for your husband or wife or boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, or if you can even give them to your dog if you want, really. It's kind of expensive to give it to your dog, but hey, dog would like it. Yeah, so check them out. Hey, what's up? Happy Dad's Day. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Just under $4 a gallon in Crook County, Illinois. Well, yeah, I mean, that's a good price for there at this time. Margaret Brennan, I think her name is. Thank you. So, yeah, let's say her a little bit.
Because before I thought the money was coming from the West. If the West funds Iran, I think that would be a Marshall Plan with the Nazis still in charge for Germany. If the plan envisions the Sunni Arabs, if the Sunni Arabs do it, can you imagine if Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates invest $300 billion in Iran? That would tell me that Iran has changed. To all the experts out there, do you think Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates are going to invest in Iran with a theocracy bent on destroying Sunni Islam? So think it through. If the money comes from the Sunni Arab world, I hope it happens. It would mean that the Sunni Arabs believe that Iran has changed to the point they want to be a business partner. I pray that happens. I doubt if it will.
You doubt if it will. Well, I want to ask you about some of the criticism of the agreement from your fellow Republican colleagues.
Oh, yeah.
So listen.
If we give billions of dollars to Iran, that money will be used to murder Americans. And so I don't believe we should do that.
They'll use the money that is being released to rebuild their ballistic missile arsenal and begin to enrich again. And that's going to be a continuing danger.
That money, Brooke, we know is not going to go to build new hospitals or daycares. It's going to go to replenish their drone stockpiles, their missiles, to support terrorists like Hezbollah and Hamas.
We had 13 Americans dead. We spent anywhere from $25 to $100 billion in munitions, and it turns out we lost a credible threat of attacking them again. So there's a lot of stuff in there. It's bad.
Wow.
All of those Republicans are seriously doubting the president here, Senator Graham. Do you agree with their concerns?
Oh, here, 2 out of 4 of those Republicans, 2 out of the 4 lost their primaries because Trump said they sucked. Cornyn and Cassidy. So, what do you expect him to say? Lindsey is a hack. Yeah, he is a hack. He's a piece. He's never been a war he didn't like. He's what you call a hawk. I hope everyone was safe from a tornado in Illinois today. Oh, my God, I hope so, too. Who cares what Cornyn thinks? Yeah, who cares what Cassidy thinks either? If we aren't changing the regime in Iran, then we need to get the F out of Iran. I don't know why, but I think that somebody thinks that if they can just make matters that they're trying to get some kind of civil conflict going in Iran. I don't know. That's what I don't know. I don't know. I would have thought we would have kept bombing them until they didn't have any more. What is it about Graham that Trump likes so much? What am I missing? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it either. Lindsey may be a hack, but he's our hack. He votes with Trump 100% of the time, so he's got Trump support. It isn't hard. Once again, Fox giving those lame duck rhinos any legitimacy as part of their BS narrative. Well, that was actually, those people were on like Face the Nation and stuff like that. Cruz is running 2028, baby. Oh, yeah, probably. She's a particularly miserable looking woman. Yeah, she looks like she hasn't, never mind.
Concerns.
No, I don't. We're not giving any money to Iran that can change the course of history to try diplomacy. Is the MOU problematic? Yeah. I'd rather try diplomacy than take it off the table.
Okay. You'd rather try it than take it off the table. And my computer is like doing like weird stuff, man. What is going on? So Lindsey Graham wants to try diplomacy. Let's see what happens. Fox, CNN, Rutgers, AP, they're all under the same covers. Yeah. Well, yeah. What is going on? I don't know what is happening. What the fuck is going on with my computer? What the hell is happening here? I'm having system interrupts. Wow. So we saw that. Hello. Let me try it. StreamYard has been utter trash for months now. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It just, my computer just took a dump. Let me try it. Wow. Give me a second to get everything back together here. Over here. Pull this up. Yes, very, very expensive computer. Very expensive computer. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous here. It'll take me. Hey, what's up, Dan Blackroyd? How you doing? Marginally better, Joe. Just marginally. Yeah, I know. OBS. I know. I got problems. It's just something. Jiggle the handle. Yeah, I know. Money on a computer that crashes. Yeah, it's. I don't know. It's either StreamYards or it could have been something. Something. I was having a memory leak somewhere. I don't know. It's the 5090. Yeah, who knows? I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was. NVIDIA just did an update today on. Just did an update today on something. So if it was that, you're back now. All's okay. Thank you. Lindsey Graham shut you down. It could be. Our side always demands perfection. That's why we exceed to snatch defeat out jaws of victory. We need to be more strategic and compromise. Probably the best thing Trump could teach. Yeah, could be. So, all right, let me make sure everything's going here. Merriweather style, media assets, banners. That's good. When Jim restarts, y'all please say a prayer for my mom. She's in ICU. I'll be traveling from Florida to Heartland this week. Oh my God, Will Call. I'm sorry to hear that. Yes, let's say a prayer for his mom. Dear Heavenly Father, please take Will's mom into your hearts and hands and restore her health and grant her peace and comfort and more time on this earth. Thank you. Amen. 36 minutes behind. How long has Jim crashed out? Nah, it only took a couple minutes for me to get it fixed up. Sounded like he wanted to negotiate with Hitler. I don't know. Could be. Maybe. Let's see here. Share screen. Share. And the stage. There's this. Let me see. All right. I just got to go through and make sure everything's working. It'll just take me a second. I'm sorry. That's there. All right. So Lindsey Graham is basically saying that we set the terms they accept. Yeah, well, that's what they want. We don't negotiate ever. All right. And then we got this story, which I talked about a little bit earlier. Black Democrats attack longtime Democrat rep Debbie Wasserman Schultz for decision to run in district with a large. What just happened? It's StreamYard. It says I'm sharing it, but I'm not. Wow. Did that went away? It like popped off or something? Very weird. I don't hear Republicans like Lindsey Graham out there pushing the Save America Act. Why is it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand it. Will there ever be a wrestler say Melania's a man? I don't think so. That would have to be like some wrestler that got hit in the head a few too many times. So this woman right here, she's trying to one. Hey, Ken Krause, great to see you. Thanks for being here. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Everybody's doing a great job tonight. Grab some popcorn. Black Democrats are lashing out at longtime Democrat rep Debbie Wasserman Schultz for her decision to run for re-election. She's too Native American for the black population. Yeah. You think all bets are off in November? Why does it keep doing that? So if every time I share something, the screen goes down. Can you see? Is it taking it off? This is StreamYard doing this. Whenever I pull something up, it takes that down. What is going on? What is going on? So every time I share, every time I pull up a chat, it pulls down what I'm reading. That's not good. If I put up this right now when I'm sharing this, are you seeing the page? Because it disappears for me right now. I don't see what I'm sharing. I'm too young for this boomery. It's just bothering me because it keeps disappearing. All right. Now it disappears when I take it off the screen for me. That's crazy. Okay, you guys can see it. All right, I'm just going to have to get used to it, I guess. You can see it. We see it. All right, it's good there. All right, I don't know what's going on. You see what I'm sharing? All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Kimby. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, this time I'm seeing the page, but previously it did make the page disappear and put your icon up there. It blinks. Oh, man. What is going on? It's StreamYard. It's doing this. So Wasserman Schultz was first elected in 2024. However, she's running for Florida's 20th district after Republican lawmakers redistricted. You see the page, but it blurs. What the fuck? Black Democrats are now coming for Wasserman Schultz and attacking her. Some Black Democrats are frustrated with Wasserman Schultz's decision to run in South Florida congressional district, home to a large Black voting population. So, Wasserman Schultz, a veteran lawmaker who has served in Congress since 2005, is running Florida's 20th congressional district, which has been represented by former Rep. Sheila Shorfalis McCormick, the one who got convicted for fraud. Jim, when you share, we can see it. Your splash screen comes on. When your text goes away, when it refreshes, you're good. We just call you a boomer for fun, of course. I don't know. Blinking is a good way to describe it. The image comes up briefly and it goes back to the story you're reading. Zia canceled her premium subscription over it. It was $1,000. It's like $880 or something. Mine just renewed. This is ridiculous. So I think for sure it was a bad move for the Congresswoman to run in the district. It was selfish and all about her. Well. Again, sorry. I had to try something. It's bothered me. Extra camera. Share screen. Let's see. Maybe it will work. If it will work now. All right, now it's working. All right. Whatever you did, don't do it again. You're completely gone. All right. I'm looking at Restream next month if I have time. Yeah. Hey, Wasted Quaker Ranger, what's up? Wash your mane. It's just another plan perpetrated by the man to keep a brother down. That's right. Debbie can't wait for your stupid ass to be gone. You're a terrible person. You never mistreated a single kid. Yeah, we never mistreated a single kid. Debbie is learning why politics why you don't support identity politics. Yes, it's all good. Well, thanks, Ken. I think it's fixed now because I had a refresh for whatever reason. Refresh StreamYard again. I mean, so many people she ignored, didn't have conversations with, like the Florida Legislative Black Caucus, the chair of that caucus, and the Black elected officials. So yeah, so they're pissed. They don't like this. They don't like it. Mm-hmm. Black Dems push back on Wasserman Schultz bid for the 20th district. So that's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, wait, wrong thing here. Oh, this is a good thing here. Hold on. Let me go back to this. This is something interesting. This is what's his face? This is what was his name? Urlacher talking about the Illinois Republicans or Illinois Democrats. I'm sorry.
They don't want to raise taxes to keep the Bears there, but they're, like he just said, they're spending it in ways that they could be allocated for something else. It's just it's not right the way they're doing it. Coach Zick is right, by the way. I personally don't think they should play anywhere but Soldier Field either. But the Bears do not own Soldier Field. It's owned by the city of Chicago. So the Bears don't make as much money as they probably should be on Sundays when the Bears play at home.
Yeah, what is Soldier Field without the Bears, though? Right?
It's like I said, it doesn't make.
Hey, what's up, Vince?
It's iconic. It's right there on the lake. They rebuilt the stadium in 2003. We played in Champaign for a year, and they rebuilt it when we went back in 2003. It was unreal. Ted Phillips was our team president back then, and he got the Bears to stay at Soldier Field. Maybe they should reach out to Ted Phillips. I think he retired a couple of years ago, but Ted, he knows a few things about getting the stadium rebuilt, so maybe they should reach out to him and see if he has any ideas on this.
Yeah, they should stay in Chicago. But whatever. So, yeah, and President Trump puts Pritzker on notice over the bloody weekend. Yeah, Chicago celebrated. Lurley says, "Why do you stuff your dog with food?" I don't. She eats 2 cups of food today. That little pitty looks like a bloated hog. No, she's just laying down. She's fine. She's fine. How do you rebuild a stadium and leave it outdoors in Chicago of all places? They did look at it. My company did some of the work at Soldier Field, and they looked into putting a dome on it, and the work they would have had to do because Soldier Field is technically a land, like it's one of them like historical landmarks. The edifice would have had to been damaged in ways that they wouldn't have been able to do it. So that's why they couldn't put a dome on it. We don't have Bellavision yet. No, we have Bellavision. What's up, KJ? How you doing? My son discovered today they're having a boy after 2 darling girls. That's awesome. That's awesome. God, yeah, bless them all. Bless them all. Why would you say any of that in the first place? I don't know, because you're mean. So they celebrated Father's Day in Chicago and Juneteenth by having multiple mass shootings with 6 dead and 30 injured. So Trump put Pritzker on notice after the brutal weekend of bloodshed. Local reports at least 5 killed, 22 injured. Well, it's more than that, 6 and 30. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The worst single scene came on the south side where gunmen in a red SUV opened fire on a crowd gathered during a Juneteenth celebration. They destroyed it with that refurbishment. They did. It did. Yeah, they did a lot of stuff. Like we put these like they put these crazy like heated tubes, glycol heated tubes under the field so it wouldn't freeze, but it caused major problems then with the grass. Like basically, then when the snow melts, it just turned into like mush and slush and stuff. It was a lot of problems. Yeah, Chicago Father's Day. Okay, how many dead? Soldier Field sucks, has no parking. It's more than a mile to the nearest train or bus station, and it's no longer a historic building. Dome would have cost as much as a new stadium. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You have to be more patient with the asshole commenters than me. Comment about Bella would have gotten an FU for me. Well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, she's slightly overweight, but she's not a fat pig. She weighs like 78 pounds. And the capacity is next to nothing at Soldier Field. New York Post tied the political fight directly to the weekend toll. President Trump ripped into Pritzker after the city logged another grim round of shootings. President Trump questioned why Pritzker has not sought help and argued that he can make Chicago safe within a month. Oh, thank you, KJ, for 10. Thank you. Thank you so much. With that, folks, that means we are now just $42 away. So we're more than halfway there. 42 away from adding a first additional hour. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. Iranian statement is excellent if you're looking for programming to watch when you're slowing down in the evening. Just ignore the burning of every U.S. flag. I've been watching that Tusi TV, trying to watch the Tusi. I just go to the Jim Fweeze's part. All right. Okay. Yeah, she's just big boned. No, she's a big girl, but she's not a fat pig. She's all right. For years, Democrats in cities like Chicago have treated law and order help from President Trump as an ideological threat. Chicago will just stop reporting crimes. Voila, that's what will happen. Here's the New York Post current frame on the Trump-Pritzker clash. Trump tears in the lefty U.S. governor Pritzker after bloody weekend in Chicago leaves 5 dead, 22 injured. Well, it's actually 30 injured and 6 dead. Yeah, JB the Hut Pritzker. Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Drive-by shooters fire into crowd, injuring at least 13 people in Princeton Park, Chicago. At least 12 people were shot, and another person was injured in part of the drive-bys. Jim's computer froze 14 minutes ago. Yes, I know. I was having some technical difficulties. There was 2 updates on my computer today. One of them was the graphics card did an update, and then there was some other update, and I guess I didn't. I don't know. I thought I don't know. It is what it is. Those numbers are actually pretty low for a weekend. I don't know. 30 shot, 6 dead for a weekend. I don't know. I mean, it can get worse. But I mean, think about it. They should have all been celebrating, Juneteenth and Father's Day. Bella looks delicious, Jim. Oh, okay. How did we get Bella Vision? Nana 1776 donated 25. It's a youth thing. Yeah. Okay. They are horrible shots. Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is too, like the Cook County Hospital is one of the best trauma places in the world as far as for shootings go. Like they save a lot of people that might not get saved other places. Fatherless Day. So the mass shooting happened during a Juneteenth celebration. Surveillance video captured what appears to be a barrage of gunfire, people running for cover. 32-year-old woman shot twice in the back was transported to Christ Hospital. Well, I've been to that hospital before. 44-year-old man grazed the back 4 times, was taken to University of Chicago Medical Center. I did work on that hospital. Police said 10 other people took themselves to local hospitals. 17-year-old boy shuffled a gunshot wound in the thigh. 22-year-old woman gunshot wound in the thigh. I'm not going to go through all these people who were shot, but police said an additional victim suffered unknown injuries, refused medical treatment. All of a sudden, you just heard bah, 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 with rapid gunfire. And I saw pictures. I wonder if they're going to have them here. They got pictures of it on this or no? Nothing? No pictures? Seriously? No pictures. Oh, Mayor Johnson's going to react to it here on this one. I want to see video of it, though. Like they had video of the scene showing all the casings on the floor, on the ground, I mean. Mass shooting, 13 dead. Mayor Johnson reacts. That's all with that, huh? We'll get there in a second.
We've seen police going in and out of a number of businesses in this area, likely looking over surveillance video. Bullets from the shooting hitting this bus stop here on 95th Street. You can see shattered glass is still here on the ground. We counted over 100 evidence markers near the scene where Chicago police say just after 11 o'clock last night, 12 people were shot. The 13th victim had unknown injuries.
It was a red SUV driving eastbound on 95th. Fire shots.
Police say a red SUV pulled alongside a large crowd standing on 95th Street between Princeton and...
Well, let me tell you something. I've seen that a lot lately. There was several things where I've saw videos from people, and it's like, what is going on here with these newscasters? Like, they used to have some standards. Like, I mean, I'm not saying they all have to look like, smoke shows, but Jesus, man, have some standards. Yeah, the FOIAs cost money. They're never free. Yeah, they cost money. They cost like $7. Some of them are $7.50, $8 a page. So you got in the videos. I don't know how they even work with the videos. How many shot at the Obama library? I don't know.
Wentworth Avenue. 2 people inside the SUV fired into the crowd before driving off. Orion Meadows works as a violence prevention advocate.
As you can see, I'm dressed in my Juneteenth attire.
He says he was handing out flyers nearby when he heard the gunfire.
But it was just a lot of pop, 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 pop.
He says seeing a scene like this, especially on this holiday, is devastating.
And it does a disservice to the community and what Juneteenth is supposed to stand for.
We caught up with Mayor Brandon Johnson at a Juneteenth Day of Action event earlier today.
Last night was another reminder of how much work we still have to do to the lives who have been impacted by gun violence.
The shooting victims are between 17 and 47 years old. At last check, most of the victims are in good condition, except for the 17-year-old we're told is critical.
As a father, as a husband, as a brother, as a cousin, just as a resident, it is heartbreaking. It is difficult to even digest and consume. There are too many families who have experienced loss in this city.
Chicago police are still investigating this shooting and say so far no one is in custody. Reporting from the South Side, I'm Asal Desai, CBS News Chicago.
Yeah, CBS News Chicago. Yeah, so they're still investigating. They're looking into it. They'll get to the bottom of it. Somebody will come forward. No, Obama's son's doing their thing. There you go. There you go. Trump slams Pritzker after 12 shot. Oh, President Trump posted, "Why isn't the governor calling me for help?" Yeah, why isn't he? Why isn't he calling you for help? Lots of killing going on in Chicago. 22 people shot, at least 4 dead. It's up to 30 and 6 now. I don't know where that. I saw the story. I don't know where it is. It could make Chicago a safe city in 1 month. Just let me do it. Yeah, just let us do it. Just let us do it. Why is this? What the hell's going on? All right. 2 drive-by shooters opened fire on a group of people, wounding 13 in Chicago's Princeton Park neighborhood Friday at 11 p.m. But there was a bunch of other shootings. That's it? That's all you got? Oh, whatever. Great. Good to know. And we got this story. Got 5 Democrat states are suing and they're rushing to prevent, not suing, I'm sorry, they're changing laws. I'm sorry. Mama Cass reporting. Just June 19th, just another day. Third world cities are safer than Chicago. Yeah, they are. They are. They're changing laws to try to stop the federal government from keeping them from cheating. I guess Maryland was upstaged. Yeah, it can happen. Iraq is safer, I believe. Yeah, go live in one. Oof. Yeah, nobody saw nothing. Well, they didn't do nothing. It's like Aunt Jemimy's didn't do nothing muffins. So Demon Rat states are rushing to protect the November midterms from potential interference, they say, by Trump and its allies, passing new laws that restrict law enforcement presence at polling places or seek to thwart federal government attempts to obtain sensitive election materials. 5 states, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Maryland, and Washington, oh, go figure, have recently enacted legislation to protect their elections from federal action, according to the Voting Rights Lab, which monitors election-related legislation. The organizers say they were responding to the president's constant rhetoric about voter fraud. Who is against stopping voter fraud? That's the whole thing I just don't understand. It's like the fucking people protesting about the algae. These people are like, no, if Trump's against voter fraud, that means we have to make sure we have voter fraud. That's insane. That's insanity. That's insanity. Insanity. The U.S. Constitution gives the states primary responsibility for organizing elections and Congress the power to set the rules for federal contests. It's outrageous that the Trump administration believes it can ignore the Constitution. Well, the president is responsible, all right, for enforcing the law. And one of those laws are that only U.S. citizens can vote. So Trump is just enforcing the fucking laws to make sure only U.S. citizens vote. How hard is that to understand? They want the fraud. Oh, I know they do. Finally, oh my God, finally real time. Help me with the rally. I'm going to PayPal. Screw YouTube, taking 30%. Well, thank you, KPT. Thank you so much. Human Events, UK Police. Okay, yeah, I kind of saw that, but I'll pull that. Thank you. I saw that story a little bit. So this is just crazy. So yeah, Maryland says that Maryland's state senator says that they co-sponsored a new law intended to uphold the state's deadline for counting mail-in ballots received after Election Day. Well, if the Supreme Court says you can't count ballots after Election Day, so they want to be able to count ballots received after Election Day. Well, it's Election Day. Doesn't work that way. Bring back Al Capone. The deadliest day ever we had was 7 people on St. Valentine's Day. You ain't kidding. This is this. Democrat states scramble to prevent potential Trump administration interference in their elections. Well, aren't they our elections? Supreme Court really needs to get this pending stuff out and stop screwing around. Yes, they do. They need to get that decision out. We have a lot of fraudulent votes in Washington's big cities. A lot of Washington. Yeah. Definitely. Hey, thank you so much, KPT, for the 10 on the PayPal. That's big news there. So that means we're now just 32 away, folks. Just 32 away. 32 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Democrat-led states are racing to safeguard the midterms. Sponsor state are responding to the rhetoric. Did that work? Yes. Thank you so much. $10. Thank you. Thank you. I already fixed it. I already adjusted the goal and said thank you very much. Oh, wait. Got another 10 from someone on Cash App. Thank you so much. I don't want to, I don't know if I should say your name, JP. Can I say JP? Is that good? JP, whoever you are. I see your name, but I don't like saying names because usually towards the goal. Thank you for the 10, JP. That means right now we're just $22 away. Thank you so much. If you say who you are, I will identify you in the chat. Just let me know. And I will call it out. Number 2 is the rest of conservative. We actually do our own thing. Our sheriff's rule. Oh, thank you. You're JP. Thank you so much, Wasted Quaker Ranger. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, 149 watching, only 80 likes. What do we need? What do I need to do to get you to hit the like button? What do I need to do? What do I need to do just to get you to hit the like button? You know. It's infuriating that Trump thinks he can ignore the Constitution. Well, like I said, they're following the Constitution. Now, the president's repeatedly tried to single-handedly change election procedures. No, he's just trying to guarantee. Yes, thank you so much, Wasted Quake Ranger. Yes, they hail to the Wasted Quake Ranger, as Norm says. So he signed executive order cracking down on mail-in voting. No, cracking down on illegals voting by mail. Illegals voting by mail. There's a big difference there. Big difference there. Additionally, asked last month whether he would send immigration customs enforcement to the polls. Trump responded he would do anything necessary to make sure we have honest elections. Which, yeah, why not? That's great. In Connecticut, a new provision that goes into effect July 1st seeks to largely bar law enforcement from being within 250 feet of a polling location, a ballot drop box, or a vote counting site. Well, local law enforcement, sure, you can't control federal law enforcement. Representative Matt Blumenthal, a Demon Rat, who chairs the Chamber's government administration, so he's probably related to Max Blumenthal, or the other Blumenthal. What's his name? Dick Blumenthal, the stolen valor liar that said he was in Quezon. The reason we've entertained these steps is because of the shocking statements. Oh, yeah, including they have undertaken a threat to attack our elections. Yes, the like button is free, folks. It really is. It's really free. More likes equals more Jim tells you. Yeah, because more people will come in, then you like it, more people watch. More more people do donate, the more, the more stuff we can do. This campaign pledge from the president is why millions of Americans sent him back to the White House. That's right, to stop the election fraud. When asked about his remarks deploying federal officers, the White House pointed to Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, telling reporters that she had not heard the president discuss any plans to send ICE anywhere. Some of these states could set up legal clashes with the federal government. Court disputes have already erupted between the Trump administration and the states, such as California and Connecticut, over statutes that seek to prohibit ICE officers from wearing masks. Yep, they can't do that. It's called the Supremacy Clause. Sorry. But legal experts say states are likely on firmer ground when it comes to the new batch of laws that spell out how state and local officials should respond to any federal overreach on elections. Oh, okay. So Gavin Newsom signed legislation to prohibit election officials from providing unauthorized access to voter rolls or voting machines without a court order. It also makes it a crime to knowingly take voted ballots from election officials without a valid warrant. These people are nuts. So if they have an emergency at the polling station, they'll be shit out of luck. It sounds like it, these stupid laws that they're passing, right? Seems crazy to me. So in Colorado, Governor Polis signed a law prohibiting interfering with voting within a newly established 100-foot buffer zone around ballot drop boxes. It also gives the governor, with input from an advisory committee, the power to declare an emergency to allow elections to proceed in the event of any disruption. Oh, so the governor could just declare an emergency and let them vote for a week or a month or something like that after? See what they did? So he could just say, oh, we're losing. We need more people to vote. Get out and keep voting. New laws also require municipal officials, election workers who receive a subpoena or warrant to notify the Attorney General and Secretary of State within 36 hours. In Maryland, a statute enacted in May allows the state to continue to count votes for local and state election on mail ballots received after Election Day, even if the federal government ends the post-election grace period for presidential and congressional contests. I don't know why they're freaking out about ICE at the polling station. Since illegals don't vote, ICE would be wasting their time. Yeah, it's crazy. Snorum says 156 watching, only 71 likes. Punch that like button. That would be nice if you did. Let's see. No, I see more than that. I see 84 right now. Let me see. I'll refresh and see what comes up. It says 107, but we can still do better. We can still do better. That's only about the 2/3 of the people hit like. We need them. We need everybody to hit like. You don't think Republicans will lose Congress? I think it's going to be 219, 216, 51-49. I don't even think it'll be 51-49. I think it's going to stay. I think it's going to stay 53-47. I really do. I don't think Ohio is going to go blue all of a sudden out of the blue again, and yeah, Alaska is going to be fine. I think. I don't know. I mean, what else? Texas? No, not happening. I don't see them losing. There's actually a chance for a pickup for them. So Washington State March and makes it a felony to disclose personal information contained in voting registration file to people other than state and local elected officials without permission of the Secretary of State. Oh, really? So you need the permission of the Secretary of State to tell people who's on the voting rolls. Yeah. Says it doesn't bar a government entity from requesting information and potentially obtaining, but the request has to go through our Secretary of State, who manages our statewide voter registration database. Wow, the Secretary of State, the same person in charge of driver's license. North Carolina and Alaska, you can see it. Oh, no, I don't think so. I don't. Not Alaska. Maybe North Carolina, but I don't see it. Newsom described California's law as needed to address the legitimate anxiety. He also referred to the high-profile seizure of 650,000 ballots in the special election by Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco. A local judge had signed a warrant for what Bianco called a fact-finding mission into potential election fraud. Earlier this year, the state Supreme Court halted the probe in order to seize ballots preserved. The justices have asked both sides to prepare briefs on how the new state law that tries to restrict such ballot seizures might affect the case. Got all this stuff, they're worried about the ballots being seized in Fulton County. It's just crazy. So that's what they're trying to do. 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 Let me do this. We got this horrific dash cam video. 1 dead, 32 injured after a semi-truck loses control and jackknifes on a Southern California freeway. This is crazy. This is nuts. They're not identifying the person either. Good job, folks. Got up to 109. Scummer thinks Demon Rats will lose 25 million votes if the SAVE Act is passed. It's possible. Hey, Jeffrey, what's up, man? How you doing? Great to see you. Charlotte is crazy. The Gateway Pundit reached out to the California Highway Patrol to find out the identity of the driver, but they won't tell him because it's must be a Pooji. It's possible, very much likely. You hope you're wrong? Well, we'll see. We'll see. Dashcam video is shared exclusively when Eyewitness News shows a moment leading up to the deadly crash. Footage shows a big rig veering off the right shoulder before crossing the center divider and colliding with several vehicles. The truck ultimately jackknifed, leading to lane closures. Authorities say a 58-year-old woman was killed. More than 30 people were injured, including 10 who were hospitalized. 6 of those hospitalized were children. If it's not identified, it's a G. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like the Coulter rule. I use the like as I seen this and do not disagree. Any bets on the country the driver came from? Well, survey says probably India. They're currently running driverless trucks in select cities. Well,
I probably shouldn't say this, but I used to charge people over $1,000 to fix this exact kind of scratch.
Now, an exclusive Eyewitness News dash camera video we have obtained showing the beginning of a deadly semi crash on the 210 freeway this morning in Irwindale. That big rig veering off the right shoulder before then crossing through lanes of traffic over the center divider, colliding with several vehicles on the other side. It wound up jackknifed across both sides of the freeway. Video posted to the Citizen app shows the aftermath. A 58-year-old woman was killed. More than 30 other people were injured, 10 of them hospitalized tonight, including 6 children. The freeway has since reopened and the crash is now under investigation.
It's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, almost honestly, I wouldn't.
AR lovers, you need to see this.
No, I don't. You need to stop with your crap. What are you doing? Just start playing something weird when I'm doing this. This is the second major massive accident involving a semi-truck in Southern California in the last several months. Last October, 3 people were killed. Several others were severely injured after a driver of a semi-truck plowed into vehicles on the freeway in Ontario, California. Eyewitnesses said the collision created a massive fireball after the driver failed to stop as its traffic slowed down. A total of 8 vehicles, including 4 big rig trucks, were involved in the deadly crash. An eyewitness said the driver, identified as Josh Pete Singh, was driving at a high speed when he slammed into vehicles. Singh was arrested. A Target truck, bad business, I think. Bad business. Yes, bad business. A good reporter would ask the witnesses rather than the authorities. Could be good. And look at this, folks. Look at this. Low watermark, friend of the channel. Hi, Jim, for $22. That means, folks.
Tactical assessment. Red Chinese victory. Impossible. America will never fall to communist invasion. Communism is the very definition of failure.
Thank you so much, Mark, for that $22. That means now, folks, we hit the goal for the first hour, and we are now $100 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. Well, that's great. Thank you all so much for being super duper duper generous. No. I hope you enjoyed today. I'm going to listening mode. I must pretend to work like they pretend to pay me. That's good. Yeah. Sing. Oh, for Christ's sake. What is wrong with that guy's feet in the ad? I don't know. It looked weird to me. Hail low watermark. Yeah. We'll see some kind of hives or something. More than likely. Singh was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence of drugs. That's crazy. Wow. Then we got this. Feeling emboldened after attacks on Moscow, Zelensky threatens Belarus with military action. Wow, can you believe this? Can you believe this guy? 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 It's crazy. What is with him? So Ukraine is feeling more confident as of late as its long-range drones have made it to the Moscow area. Well, they can do that. As well as dozens of oil refineries across the country burn. Zelensky is seeking to flex yet again. Tolio. What? Tolio. You're talking about the toes. So, recent days, he issued an ultimatum to Belarus President Alexander Lukashenko, threatening that close Russian ally and union state Belarus could face attacks out of Ukraine if it fails to dismantle the air defense radar array along its southern border. Are you fucking high? Who does this guy think he is telling this country, dismantle your radar state? Are you fucking nuts? Somebody needs to smack the shit out of Zelensky right now. He's going to try to drag another country into this war. Ukrainian leader even issued a timeline in a social media post. Remove that equipment. No. Why the fuck would they remove that equipment? Who the fuck do you think you are? If he doesn't do it, we will. That Russia will keep pushing him further into this war, but that Lukashenko now understands Ukraine will respond. Belarus has been involved in Russia's special military operation from the beginning, having played a role in staging area and logistics hubs. Importantly, it also hosted Russian tactical nukes, which is a clear, loud warning to and threat to NATO. Addressing these factors, Zelensky also alleged that Belarusian army had just fire on our people. He stressed that today, Belarus is one of the key suppliers for the Russian army. A major incident just unfolded due to a Ukrainian drone strike on Belarusian civilians was Lukashenko dubbed an act of terrorism. Belarusian foreign ministry said Thursday that it summoned a senior Ukrainian diplomat to protest a deadly drone strike on a bus carrying a Belarusian youth soccer team. Oh my God. Zelensky's out here killing kids. Are all these people going to be protesting in the street about the dead kids? Ukraine has all of NATO supporting it, and it's worried about Belarus. Okay. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that once this starts expanding to other countries, dude, it's going to have a thing of its own. It will be World War III at that point because everybody else is going to get involved. And then once other people get involved, it's going to expand. Why can't people not see that we are under attack? Yeah. Belarus and Russian authorities accused the Ukrainian military of targeting the vehicle as it traveled through Russia's western border region of Bryansk on Wednesday. A woman accompanying the team was killed and 6 others, including 4 teenagers, were wounded. Before I go to my phone, America, be more like Colombia. Get the communists out. Can't believe, yes, Americans are going for freedom, and we're going to Central South Americans are going for freedom, and we're going to communism. It's on the rise, man. It is on the rise. It's a monstrous crime from them. Ukraine, for its parts, rejected that its forces were behind the attack, dismissing the whole incident as provocation, suggesting a false flag. Oh, yes, a false flag. Russia will probably take off the white mittens soon. Yeah. Days ago, Lukashenko demanded answers for the bus attack, accusing Ukraine of seeking to drag his nation into the conflict, and that it will have to pay for it dearly. Throughout the war, there's actually been surprising little in the way of direct Ukrainian-Belarus fighting, but this could change. Officials fear this would catapult the over 4-year-long conflict to a bigger regional war. Oh, you don't say. Which is what Zelensky wants. Exactly what Zelensky wants. That's exactly what Zelensky wants. Yeah. And then we got this. Zelensky's acting like Mr. Bean on crack. That's what the Treasury Secretary said. Scott Bessent urged President Trump not to host the special needs child at the White House, according to a book by New York Times reporters. U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent, who had negotiated a much-touted rare earth mineral deal with Kiev, was reportedly worried that little fucker, Vladimir Zelensky, would mess up the signing ceremony in the Oval Office. The infamous confrontation last year took place as the Ukrainian leader sat down with President Trump and J.D. Vance to finalize a deal granting the U.S. access to Ukraine's mineral resources. Didn't Congress just fund Ukraine again recently, or am I mistaken? They passed the funding. I don't know that Trump signed it. I think it was passed in the House or the Senate, one of the two. I don't know about both. Russia can mobilize millions of troops. Can Ukraine do the same? No. No, they can't. They're actually running out of people. you like the analogy? The televised press conference took a nasty turn when Zelensky criticized Trump's efforts to mediate a settlement rather than increase military support for Kiev. I've dealt with this little fucker, says Besant, who was present in the room, told his associates, according to experts. He's tricky. He's like the special needs child for the Europeans. He's acting like Mr. Bean on crack. The Treasury Secretary had spent weeks preparing the deal and traveled to Kiev, where he was engaged in his own shouting match with Zelensky over the awful Ukrainian draft, at one point telling him, what the fuck do you want to do? Trump should veto everything till the Save America Act reaches his desk. You know what? That would be a great idea. That would be a great idea. Several other Trump aides have also been worried about a potential over-office scandal with then National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, desperately urging Zelensky to at least come wearing a suit. Jim has more to show us. Can you help us get to another hour? We already got the extra hour. We're working on a second additional hour. So we got another hour and a half at least. Zelensky was eventually asked to leave the White House while the deal was signed without much fanfare 2 months later. Zelensky, who has since somewhat mended ties with during several meetings with Trump and even started wearing a custom all-black military hybrid suit jacket, was nevertheless still reeling from the altercation almost a year later. That would be excellent to veto everything. Mr. Bean on crack. Besant urged Trump not to invite Zelensky to the White House. I'm starting to like Besant, too. New book alleges Treasury Secretary called Zelensky a special needs child. Zelensky explains why he wrote an open letter to Putin. What did you say to him? That you love him? You want to have his babies?
I sent him this letter with openly. Nobody understands where we are with this war, and it was very important for me, for Americans, not to forget about us. I understand with all the challenges in the Middle East, but this is the biggest war during these 80 years, the biggest in Europe. I wanted very much to send him that to stop play these.
To stop playing these games. All right. 54 injured and 18 missing after an explosion at Qatar's LNG site. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. The blast happened during startup operations at the Barzan gas supply facility. Authorities say a technical accident caused the explosion. There's no threat to public safety. 54 people have been injured while 18 are missing after explosion at Qatar's core liquefied natural gas processing site of Ras Laffan. An incident during the startup at Ras Laffan Industrial City resulted in explosion and fire. Qatar Energy said emergency response teams were deployed to contain the fire. We still scared of speech. No specific warning before a time will be helpful, so I don't make the same mistake. But I have a feeling it's more about squashing dissenting opinions. No, I think you're talking about Greg, right? Greg is a troll who comes all the time, so I didn't see anybody get timed out. Did you get timed out? Wait, who got timed out? Lurley, did you get timed out because you disparaged Bella? Someone timed you out? Well. Hey, Dusky Dawn, how's it going? You got timed out? Oh, well, I don't know. What did you say? Were you say something ignorant? I don't know. Maybe it was an accident. I didn't time you out. Zelensky's presidential expiration expired over 2 years ago. Yeah, it did. 5 minutes? Oh, okay. Well, that's the way she goes. So emergency crews were deployed to contain the fire, which is now under control. That's good. So 54 people were injured. Rescue teams were looking for 18 missing people. That's never good when there's missing people and there's an explosion. Qatar Energy did not indicate whether the explosion had caused any damage to the plant, which supplies gas to the domestic market. Reuters witness earlier reported that a loud boom was heard in the capital of Doha. The Barzan gas facility has a capacity of 1.4 billion cubic feet per day. That's a lot. Supplies a pipeline to local industries in Qatar's power generation sector. It also has the capacity to produce ethane, condensate, liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, LP, and sulfur for domestic and export markets. The facility is located in the Ras Laffan industrial city. Isn't this the one? Probably more like misting people. Yeah. They're probably gone, especially something like this. But now, wasn't this the place that Iran hit with bombs? So was this after they fixed it and they were restoring process and it blew up? Because I think this was one of the places that they targeted, right? They did some damage to a couple months ago, right? And so maybe they were restarting the operations and they didn't have something tied down correctly. So 2 of their LNG trains and 1 of their 2 gas to liquid facilities were damaged in strikes amid the U.S.-Israeli war, knocking out 70% of the country's export capacity, and repairs expected to take years. So okay. We got this story out of the UK. You guys have been seeing all this stuff going on in the UK with all the people getting stabbed and everything. So UK police told the mother of daughter stabbed to death 23 times with a screwdriver by a Rwandan asylum seeker to tone down the statement to avoid anti-migrant violence. Was hit in March. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I'm too tired to know that. Okay. Police in the UK encouraged the family of a hotel worker who was murdered by an asylum seeker to moderate their public statements out of concern that the killing could trigger anti-immigration protests. 27-year-old Rhiannon White was stabbed 23 times with a screwdriver in October 2024. Her killer, Deng Magic, was a Sudanese national who was later sentenced to 29 years in prison. Hey, who's handsome? What's up? Great to see you. Thanks for here. Yeah, it's effing crazy. It is. It is. It is. Research, Information Communications Unit, and Covert Strategy Communication Propaganda Branch of the UK Home Office. Oh, wow. Riku. Yeah, this state people suck. The killing came just months after Southport child murders, which sparked anti-migrant riots and demonstrations across parts of the UK. White's mother, Siobhan, said police were concerned about the possibility of the murder prompting further unrest, saying they didn't want another Southport. They didn't tell us what to say. No. Did they guide us so it didn't look so aggressive? Maybe. I was aggressive and they toned it down. Yeah. Upon telling White's family that she would be taken off life support, officers removed migrants from the Park Inn hotel. Those migrants were out within 2 hours. I think it's because the police feared violence. Following the revelation that Majek had arrived in the UK on a small boat just 3 months before the attack, Siobhan publicly accused Prime Minister Keir Starmer of having blood on his hands. The allegation that police pressured the family come after a shocking report about the UK's Research Information Communication Unit, RICU, which has been working to manage public reaction to multiculturalism within the UK. Multiple instances, the unit has been influencing public statements made by family members of victims in racial cases across the country. You don't think that this unit was who was whispering in Henry Nowak's family's ears about the Jeets that killed his son? I think they were. You can see their fingerprints all over the statements released by families of the victims in these volatile situations. They usually have a similar tone. It's got to stop. If they sank the incoming illegal boats, they'd stop surging in. That's a good idea. That's what they should do. Oh, KPT, thank you. Good night. Have a nice sleep. See you tomorrow. The mother said that her daughter would have been entirely blinded in a wheelchair if she had survived. Wow. Jean de Violet. That's interesting. Yes. Good night. Peace out. You're going to sleep. Good night. Oh, okay. Martin, you're going to sleep too? Good night. All right. Let me see here. I did have some other stuff I want to get to. So just so you guys know, there was a. You were wishing her good night. Okay. Okay, no problem. Drag queen school board member who was just arrested for sexually explicit communication with a child was a guest speaker at the Democrat Party of Pennsylvania caucus in 2024. Wow, a guest speaker at the Pennsylvania caucus. Wow. What do you know?
Hiya, guys. Anita Buffum here. I just got done doing a talk, which I've been asked to speak places, which is fabulous, about, well, LGBTQ issues or my experience running for school board, running and winning, honey. And that's been fabulous. So I did a virtual today for the Pennsylvania Democratic Caucus. That was fabulous, honey. Hiya, guys. Anita.
This is night. Yeah, I'll tell you. This is nightmare stuff right here. This is nightmare fuel. Wow, that cosplay of Wendy Williams. It's crazy, isn't it? Looks like an illegal. Deport him, her, it. Well, I would, man in a costume, not a female. Definitely not a female. Definitely not a female. Definitely not a female. Definitely not a female. Wow. This is crazy. Crazy stuff here, folks. Crazy stuff here, folks. All right, we got this one here. Massive ICE arrest, 13 illegal aliens at a window supply company business in Paducah, Kentucky. Paducah, Kentucky. This is like, you and me both. I'm so sick of them. I am sick of them. Uncovering a massive Social Security number theft ring. The raid revealed that they used stolen American identities on fake I-9 forms from 2021 to 2025. 8 are federally indicted. The rest face potential deportation. We were warned of the abominations. Yes, we were. On your worst day, you look better than that. Well, I hope so. The investigation demonstrates that our commitment to upholding the integrity of the nation's employment immigration systems. By uncovering and addressing the fraudulent use, our team has sent a clear message that those who attempt to circumvent federal law will be held accountable. This case underscores the importance of coordinated law enforcement and collaboration in safeguarding America's workplace by combating fraud in all forms. I mean, this is just like,
WDRB in Louisville as federal agents arrest 13 illegal immigrants during an operation that uncovered fraudulent use of Social Security numbers to work at a window supply business in Paducah. 8 of the suspects have been indicted for using the stolen Social Security numbers. Those not charged criminally will be held in ICE custody pending removal proceedings and potential deportation. WDRB in Louisville.
Afuera. That's what I say. Afuera, all of them. Afuera, all of them. All right. And check this out. You guys were talking about the communists that's happening in the U.S. with the other stuff. All right. CNN statistician Harry Enton breaks down the stunning rise of communism. They say socialism. It's fucking communism. Let's be clear about it. They want to seize the means of production. They want to get rid of the president and the Senate. They want to get rid of the Supreme Court. They're fucking communists. All right. Calling them socialists is retarded. Capitalism has absolutely fallen through the floor. Look at this in the Democrat Party. It's now just 42% of Democrats who are favorable of capitalism. Deport all the criminals, apply tax to all illegals to fund deportation, force them to seek citizenship. That's what I say. Get them out of here. Socialism, communism has risen like a rocket. You mentioned New York. You mentioned Vermont. DC mayor. We've seen it in Pennsylvania as well. These Democrat socialists who are actually communists. They're just fucking lying about who they are. They have a chance of knocking off. In fact, they're going to knock off some Democrat incumbents in Congress. As part of the reason for that, we're seeing the socialists have good chances on downright winning nominations. Let's take a look here. Net favorable among Democrats. The socialists are plus 17 among Democrats. Huh. This is crazy. They should have kicked Bernie Sanders out. That's the thing. They need to tell these people, no, go away, form your own party. That's what they need to do. Instead of they're basically being infiltrated by commies. But they love it.
When we talk about democratic socialists, how are they viewed inside the Democratic Party?
Yeah, you mentioned New York, you mentioned Vermont. Obviously, there's the D.C. mayor. We've seen it in Pennsylvania as well. The Democratic Socialists seem to be doing considerably better than they used to be, and they have the chance to knock off, in fact, Democratic incumbents in Congress. And part of the reason for that, why we're seeing these Democratic Socialists having such good chances or outright winning nominations, is take a look here. Net favorability among Dems. Democratic Socialists of America, look at that. A plus 17-point net favorability rating among Democrats. That is actually better. That is better than how congressional Democrats are viewed by Democrats at just plus 4 points. So no wonder that Democratic Socialists have such a good chance, because simply put, they are a better brand at this point than Democrats in Congress.
Among Democrats, it's interesting to see who they like more. All right, and you've used this number before. I always find this fascinating. When you compare socialism to capitalism, how are they doing right now?
Yeah, how are they doing right now among Democrats? You see this Democratic Socialists of America more positive than congressional Democrats. And I'll tell you, take a look at the trend line, the favorable rating among Democrats on socialism and look at this. In 2010, they were about equal. 50% had a favorable view of socialism. 51% said the same about capitalism. But capitalism has absolutely fallen through the floor. Look at this. It's now just 42% of Democrats who have a favorable view of capitalism. Socialism, on the other hand, up like a rocket. Look at this. 2 in 3 Democrats have a favorable view of socialism. So socialism is on the rise among Democrats. Capitalism is on the decline among Democrats. And again, this is part of the law.
All right, I got to address something, because I don't know if you're a troll or something, dude, but socialism is the glue keeping capitalism together. Are you fucking on drugs, dude? Yeah, it's doing great. Yeah. Socialism. Yeah. Well, how's it doing in Cuba? How was it doing in Venezuela? How's it doing in China? Russia. How did the Soviet Union do? Yeah. How's North Korea doing? Yeah. Huh. So you're like really fucking dense in the head if you're like, oh, firemen. Yeah, there's firemen. That's socialism. No, there's services rendered. People pay taxes. You're basically saying any government at all means it's socialism. That's retarded. Yeah, when are people going to realize that socialism and communism are the same thing? They know. They're just trying to lie. They're trying to trick people. Democrat socialists now have 200 chapters of their own trained paramilitary ops. Yeah, they're fucking got their red guard. They want to go. Jim at the A, what's up? How you doing, Jamie? Great to see you. I would leap into the oncoming traffic to escape that whingy tone. Yeah. Oh, government is socialism. Oh, okay. All right. If you like the show, support Jim, some support. Yeah, thank you so much.
Longer-term trend in which we are seeing Democratic socialists doing considerably better among Democrats, electing a mayor right here in New York City, for example.
And as we said, there are primaries next week with Democratic socialists, self-proclaimed, on the ballot. What are the prediction markets saying about how they may do?
Yeah, this to me is one of the more stunning trends, right, that I have seen in covering politics over the last 15, 16 years. And if you believe the prediction markets, it's not going to just stop suddenly. It may extend into next week, because just take a look at the chance that Democratic Socialists win in Dem primaries, House primaries here in New York. You go to New York 7th District, right? You got a Brooklyn Borough president who at this point looks like an underdog compared to a Democratic Socialist. And then you may get a Democratic incumbent in Northern Manhattan get knocked off. That's closer to a 50-50 race. But the bottom line is this. Next week in New York may be a very good one for Democratic Socialists. Mayor Mamdani endorsing them. His political star is rising, and he may bring a few Democrats.
Well, he needs to be kicked out of the country anyway, because he fucking lied to get into the country. Fucking lied to get in the country. Oh, this wasn't supposed to be. Why did it do this to me? I'm going down to the bottom here. There we go. So, this headline is ridiculous. These violent rioters are facing federal charges because they violently obstructed and assaulted law enforcement officers and destroyed government property. Shame on the Washington Post for defending these Antifa rioters. Look, 15 people were charged with conspiring to impede or injure federal officers. Antifa-linked plot. Defendants say Antifa labels being used to criminalize dissent. They're all Antifa. They said they're Antifa. So why would it not be the case? Here was President Trump said they're going to seize the oil. We saw this already. Another stuff. Here we go. Hundreds of stolen mail ballots were found in a man's car that were for Gavin Newsom's recall race. What? They also found a loaded gun, Xanax, and meth. The man turned out to be a convicted felon. Was this one of Newsom's California ballot mules who was caught? This is crazy, right? This is nuts.
Meanwhile, an investigation is underway after hundreds of recall ballots are found in the back of a man's car.
Mail-in ballots for the governor's recall race were found inside a car parked at this torn 7-Eleven with a man sleeping inside of it.
So that's kind of the part where we're at now with this investigation. Is everyone wants to know two questions. Why were the ballots in his vehicle? What was his intent with those ballots? And that's what we're trying to figure out.
It was an employee at the convenience store on Emerald Street near Hawthorne Boulevard that alerted police last Monday around 10:45 p.m. about the man sleeping in his driver's seat. And stolen ballots weren't all police found inside the car. There was Xanax, a gun, meth, and other mail.
He was arrested on several charges related to possession of the firearm, the narcotics, the theft of identity theft, as well as receiving stolen property and some other charges as well.
Several agencies, including Torrance Police, the U.S. Postal Service, and the LA County District Attorney's Office, are now investigating how these stolen ballots ended up inside a convicted felon's back seat. Police say most of the ballots were for Lawndale residents and a few for Compton.
We have been working with the registrar's office to get them a list of all those names that were on those ballots so they can be notified, and then new ballots can be resent to them in time.
The election to recall Governor Gavin Newsom is set for September 14th.
Make sure that you put...
All right, well, this is old. I didn't know this was... I thought they were talking about they just found him. Why you do that? Why do people post this shit that's old? That's ridiculous. Oh, this is good. A must watch. An Iranian American who escaped Sharia law just delivered a chilling testimony at the Wiley, Texas school board meeting that everyone in the West needs to see. He breaks down the 3 stages of subversion. No lockdown mail, anything should be a no-go. It's too legit, risk fakery. I believe communism will bend, but most be dead, and all these foreigners will be in awe of appreciate during the World Cup will be gone. Jim, I just found your channel subscribed. I have a porcelain picture of Barry Soetoro in the center of my toilet bowl. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Tyrone Newsom. That's who it was. Tyrone Newsom. Kalshi's such a scam. They changed the win conditions to avoid payouts. I can't believe people take them seriously. They're being investigated. They're being investigated by a bunch of different people. Get the kids and the women, the men will follow. That's what they're trying. Strange game. The only winning move is not to play. How about a nice game of chess? Yeah, it's going to happen. Ask the UK how well socialism is working for them. Yeah, ask them. 2-tier policing, Sharia courts pushing blasphemy laws. The final stage, absolute hell of apostasy laws, executions, and hangings.
My name is Edwin Segoli. I am a Sharia law survivor, was born in Iran, and I'm here to tell you everything that you're doing here has been done in UK and Canada. You have no idea where this halal money is going to, how they're funding these mosques, and what kind of a hell is coming towards your country right now. It's 2026. I escaped that hell years ago, and I'm seeing the same thing happening over here in the United States. You have no idea. There's 3 levels of Sharia law that is happening. Right now, it's level 1. They come in peace. They come and tell you, we just want rights. We want to be part of it. Level 2 is what's happening in the UK right now. You have 2-tier policing. You have cops who are working with Muslims right now. You have Sharia law courts over there. Now they're pushing blasphemy laws over there. And one of them is called M103. It's in Canada. People are being jailed. People are being like raped in the United States, and nobody's doing anything about that because these Muslims are protected. Level 3 is what happened to my country, Iran. The hell I lived under. The apostasy laws, blasphemy laws, the hangings. These people do not change. They use taqiyya to come to your country, lie to every single one of you, and tell you they're different. They're not. Even in Florida, if you look at any of these mosques, they're pushing infidels. They're saying we want to kill infidels. We want to take over their lands. They're openly calling this out. Go to X and watch any of them straight up talking about this. And people like you I love America. I love America. Like right now, when I was in Iran living in that hellhole under Islam, I was praying to God to come to this country one day and live freely. And this shit is happening. I'm so sorry, but I'm like crying.
That's your time. Thank you.
Wow, they cut him off. That's crazy. They cut this guy off. Wow. That's crazy. Oh, this is gonna piss everybody off, so we're gonna pause this for a second. And I'm gonna address a couple things real quick. If this tatted up guy wasn't saying what you want, you'd be making fun of him. No, not true. I listen to everybody. I make fun of anybody who thinks communism is a good idea. Like, I have a plan for all communists, all right? And it's a good plan, and it works. Getting tatted up in Iran isn't allowed. No, they would kill him. It's a clown show, yeah. The Quran is specific. You can't commit any atrocity on a non-Muslim and be viewed as holy and justified. Oh, okay. Ban this user. Goodbye. Won't be seeing him here no more. You miss Airwolf? Yeah, great thing. Doesn't Jim have tattoos? I do. This was the problem with Iran. A bunch of communists tried to take over the country, and they collaborated with the Muslims to do it. Guess who won? That's right. Nuked him before I could retort. Yeah, well, he said he doesn't want to. Lurie was better than Greg. You think so? I don't know. He said this is a propaganda channel. It said bye losers and suckers. So I don't think he'll be back, So here we go. Oh wait, I got to restart the goal again on YouTube. I totally forgot. For another for another hour. We are currently at so we'll do 20 super chats for $5 for 1 hour. Do this, and this. I believe we are currently 100 away. I'm not sure. From a second hour. Yes. So start a new goal, do that. There we go. Ready to go. About the same. Yeah, well. So I stopped paying attention when I looked like Iran was going to have a successful revolution. The lion roars and all. What happened since then? I don't. You know what? They looked like they killed 40,000 people. That's what happened. All this is making you upset. You're going to go calm down? Well, that's good. I must be tired being nice. Yeah, well, it'll happen. It'll happen. All the anti-regime people in the Iran military got purged when Obama screwed them during his term. Yeah, there was a revolution that too. There was the Green Revolution. Obama screwed them all over. People forget about that. So check this out. This is disgusting. Stop giving these violent a-holes special treatment. The fact that this man still has a job in government is infuriating. Contact your reps and demand this man is charged for his crimes. This is a disgrace. This is John Teagan. I don't know if you guys know who this is. This is one of the heroes of Benghazi. This was one of the guys, that went to try to rescue Ambassador Stevens and the other people who were under attack at the Sean Smith, right? What's his other name? Sean Smith and Stevens were under attack by Islamists, and then the Obama administration tried to claim it was about a movie or something. It wasn't. It was all bullshit, but and they wouldn't let him go. It was Tig. It was also what was his name? Devin. I can't remember the rest of their names now. It's driving me nuts. But yeah, and some of them died. And this was a Marine who went. So a Gulf War Marine named Albert O'Toole who served this country, took a blast that left him with a TBI and was later diagnosed with Alzheimer's, was beaten by his aide, Matthew Cox, inside the New York State Veterans Home in Montrose, New York. As it says, IDF intel lied to us about HTE enthusiasms of Iranians, about the enthusiasm of Iranian civilians uprising after taking out leadership. Yeah, but I think we would have some of our own intelligence. I know they've got a lot of intelligence, but, I thought we would have more. I don't know. Trump told them not to do anything. So that's what I don't understand. Trump said, don't stay in your homes. Don't come out. We'll let you know. And then he never said to come out and do anything. So Trump's never called for them to overthrow their government. So I don't know what's going on. His wife became concerned after seeing unexplained bruises and heavy sedation. She installed a hidden camera. The footage shows the aide yanking food out of his hands, grabbing him by the neck, throwing him in a chair, punching him, and striking him in the head with a broom while he cried out in pain. No one came to help. The state fired the abuser, but the federal VA still has him employed, still paying him while the case drags on. You make veterans fight through hell just to get the benefits and compensation they've earned with blood and sacrifice. You move fast to cut or reduce what's owed to them. But when one of your own is caught on camera assaulting a defenseless veteran, you keep him on the federal payroll like it's nothing. Secretary of Affairs, you talk about accountability. Veteran Affairs, you talk about accountability. Here it is. Fire this man now. No pay, no protection, no more dragging it out. Secretary of War, our warriors have come home broken from fighting for this nation. They deserve better than a system that protects abusers while making veterans fight for every dollar they earned. Speaker Johnson, this is on you too. Oversight without teeth is just theater. Do your job. This isn't how you treat men and women who serve. This is a betrayal. Veterans first. Zero tolerance for those who abuse them. Immediate action. No excuses. If you're not outraged by this, you're not paying attention. Semper Fi. So let's see.
The video, now being shown publicly for the first time, begins with O'Toole's longtime aide yanking food out of his hands. Seconds later,
he picks him up by his neck and throws him in the chair, and then he forcefully pulls him into the chair and punches him in the side of the face or the neck.
Moments later, the video appears to show the aide striking O'Toole on the head with a broom before forcing him back into a restraint chair. At one point, O'Toole can be heard crying out in pain.
Ow, ow, ow. That's our wedding day.
Angela Sangro still remembers marrying her best friend Albert O'Toole in 2019 as the happiest day of her life.
That's my husband when he was in the Marines.
O'Toole served in the Gulf War, where Sangro says an explosion left him with a traumatic brain injury and years later, a devastating Alzheimer's diagnosis. As his condition got worse, she made the difficult decision to place him in the VA. And at first, Sangro says O'Toole was thriving at the federal facility in Montrose. But after he was moved across campus to the state-run veterans home, she says everything changed.
That was the biggest mistake that I made, was moving him.
Sangro says her husband began rapidly declining, appearing agitated and heavily medicated during visits, sometimes appearing with mysterious bruises and injuries.
And you can see he was obviously hit with something.
That's when Sangro decided to secretly place a camera inside his room.
Everything about this video is awful.
Never imagining it would record.
It looks like a nightmare.
This.
You hear him screaming and nobody comes to check on him. Where are the other aides?
Sangro was crushed.
I don't know how I missed it. I was there every single night.
According to this felony complaint obtained by the Turn to Tara team, the aide seen in this video is Matthew Cox. He was arrested in April, accused of grabbing the victim by the neck, forcefully restraining him, and striking O'Toole inside the state-run home. And while the state health department told us Cox was put on leave and later fired, a VA spokesman confirmed Cox remains employed by the federal VA, pending the outcome of the case. Sangro says after getting few answers as to why, she decided to turn to Tara.
You know, you guys are local. I think people need to hear about it because they need to make sure that their veterans are okay in that home.
Concerns that may be more widespread than just her husband's case. Our investigation found the state-run home racked up 47 complaints and 25 citations between 2021 and 2025, including deficiencies involving restraints, medications, and failures to report suspected abuse, resulting in warnings, staff terminations, and a $29,000 fine issued by Medicare last year. For Sangro, she says her husband fought for his country.
He's so proud of his service.
Now she says she's fighting for him.
We were so happy. I never dreamt that this would be our life. I can't even sleep anymore. I just watch him at night on that camera to make sure nobody's hurting him. I just want him to be okay.
A decorated veteran who survived war, allegedly assaulted inside a home built to serve those who served.
That is fucking disgusting. That guy should be put under the fucking prison. There are things I want to say, but I shall not. Just use your imagination. Oh, I got those same feelings. Not isolated. No, I don't think it is. I think this happens a lot. We saw this stuff before, you know. Slice them open, yeah. Don't worry about Iran. They got no game. They lie and cheat and have a handful of missiles now, but the U.S. is fucking their shit up every day. I can't tell you how I know this. Okay, Snorum. Fired. Yeah. Scott Adams was right. I think he was. Hey, Brian, great to see you. Wake up in the middle of the night and you're on. Must have been a last-minute decision. Great to get a listen while I go back to sleep. 5 a.m. comes early. Well, hope everything's going well with you and works good. What's this? Dang Lin Wang says, Jim, do you think that enough good, decent people are left in England, France, Belgium, and Germany who will eventually overthrow the woke tards leaders who have sold them out and destroyed their countries? Well, there's enough if they are willing to fight for it. I mean, you're not going to vote your way out of it, unfortunately. You know, you're not. You're going to have to go back to what Thomas Jefferson said. So, the tree of liberty needs some watering. Absence Minus says, I'll say it. Someone was trying to tell me that Iran had the majority of their missile stockpiles. I pointed that they could have 100%, but without launchers, they weren't very useful. You're still going? Wow. Yeah, I'm still going. Still going. Not allegedly. We just saw it. Ain't it? It's not allegedly. It's happening. It's happening. It's crazy that they're going to say allegedly. Yes, it's definitely not okay, Mother Papillons. Definitely not okay. They are unarmed. Yeah, they're unarmed. Sure. But they can arm themselves. It's very easy these days. It really is. If they really wanted to, 3D printers, there's all types of stuff you can make, There's a lot. Believe it or not, there's still a bunch of arms floating around in Europe that are hidden away, buried. Some, a lot of people weren't so happy to just turn them on over. So get the hell away from them. Yes, I agree. You wouldn't believe it if I told you. Okay. Sadly, like us, Europe has raised generations of feckless fucktards with suicidal empathy. Yes, I think that is a fact. Yeah, I would. I have family in the military. So the Iran regime is reeling after President Trump said, if you want to make it back to your effing countries, you won't make it back if you close the straits. We've talked about this already. The fix everything button is literally just arrest criminals and keep them in jail. Bukele was able to do this in a matter of months. Look at this. Bukele becomes president. State of exception implemented. All right. And look at the murder, homicides, monthly homicides. We're up here like in El Salvador, 2015, 2017. And Bukele becomes president and goes, oh, shit, what's this? And then, we're going to declare this. And then nothing. They basically stopped all homicides in their country, like pretty much. And Elon Musk says, yes, that's what they need to do. That's what they need to do. A major scandal's erupted. Illegal aliens are stealing Americans' identity to commit fraud, and states are losing billions of taxpayer dollars to unemployment pay errors. Every single program is rife with fraud. Gut it all and purge the rolls. These illegals are likely voting as well. More major fraud cases will be announced next week. The remaining Iranians are essentially cowards, in my opinion. Even if we got them armed, there's no leadership, no will. Do you see much difference in your chat when you start earlier or later? I don't know. Not really. I mean, there's different people. Some people are here earlier. Some people are here later. But I mean, I wasn't, Steve, I wasn't sure if I was going to stream tonight even. And then I was like, I owed it to you guys to stream. You know, I've been trying to stream every day for over 6 weeks or 7 weeks. I haven't missed a day. So how long will the train ride be back to Iran? Late night? Yeah, well, you know, when I first started streaming, I was starting at like a Happy Father's Day. Thank you so much, Sleeping. Thank you. Thank you. When I first started doing streams, it was starting at like 10 or 11 at night. Every night it was like 11. And I was just doing it on like Sundays when I started, 11 at night at Sundays. So kind of figured I'd keep that going on Sundays. When I moved to North New York City from China, I was 7 years old. We lived in the Bronx, and my sister and I got the crap kicked out of us day in, day out. Guess by whom? They mugged my poor father. We got out. Well, dang Lin Wang. Sorry to hear that happens. You got to live through that. But that's brutal. So it appears you can come to Massachusetts and steal as many benefits as you want without any fear. The White House Anti-Fraud Task Force is descending on Boston as members announced 15 new arrests. Suspects allegedly scamming SNAP benefits, disability, and Social Security programs. Massachusetts Attorney General, U.S. Attorney's Office has charged 65 people with fraud so far this year, adding up more than $56 million. Not long ago, the very same agents were working on these cases would present them to the U.S. attorneys and be told, sorry, you're not meeting the threshold. Sorry, we're not prosecuting that. Wow. Sorry, we're not prosecuting that. Wow.
The Trump administration's war on fraud is focusing on the misuse of unemployment benefits. It's threatening financial penalties for states that don't step up. Fox Business News correspondent Connor Hansen has the latest.
It appears that you can come to Massachusetts and steal as many benefits as you want without fear and without any accountability.
The White House Anti-Fraud Task Force descending on Boston as members today announcing 15 new arrests with suspects allegedly scamming SNAP benefits, disability, and Social Security programs. Prosecutors say 11 of those suspects are illegal immigrants accused of stealing the identities of U.S. citizens and blocking them out of crucial programs.
Good night,
American citizens were boxed out of these programs because illegal aliens took their names to then take their money, or more accurately, your money, the American taxpayers' money.
The task force says some of these cases were uncovered after Americans went to apply for benefits and were denied, not only because someone had already used their identity for the programs, but also used their identities to commit more crimes. The Massachusetts U.S. Attorney's Office says it has charged 65 people with alleged fraud offenses so far this year, adding up to more than $56 million.
Not that long ago, the very same agents that were working on these cases would present them to U.S. attorneys and be told, sorry, you're not meeting the threshold. Sorry, we're not prosecuting that.
The Massachusetts Department of Transitional Assistance told us it supports aggressive prosecution of anyone who steals benefits from families who depend on them. DOJ fraud czar Colin McDonald says the task force is going to announce more major fraud cases next week.
Good.
In Washington,
fucking time
Connor
he does
Hansen,
something.
Fox Business.
All fucking time they did something about it.
For more on this, let's bring it.
All fucking time they did something about this. That's Jim Trusty. Yes, well. What do you know? A little bit of fraud. So we got this. Look at this. So America's being conquered from within. Islam's penetrating the U.S. military from the inside out. This is the external front of Islam's ruthless two-front war on America. Phase 1, the Eternal Society, build isolated cradle-to-grave Sharia enclaves that shield Muslims from Western influence. Halal everything. Sharia schools, banks, courts, dress codes. Wow. Healthcare and burials. Parallel societies that function as no-go zones. External society. While the enclaves grow, radicals with a smile infiltrate every American institution, government, media, schools, and the military. They exploit our tolerance, our constitution, and our fear of being called Islamophobic. I live in Arizona. I'm disabled. I was cut off from Medicaid for a year. I wonder who got my Medicaid instead of myself. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Salty C. How that happens. It's exactly what the Muslim Brotherhood memorandum in 1991 called for. A grand jihad in eliminating and destroying the Western civilization. Send them back. That's right. Send them all back. Where did Doc go? Doc is over on Rumble, I believe. Doc goes back and forth. He goes to Rumble. He's still here. See? He bounces over to Rumble to send links. Jim, the Iran debacle proves that even the world's leading superpower can't wage a successful war with air and naval power alone. You win wars on the ground. I understand the hesitation, though. Yeah, I mean, YouTube is eating chats big time tonight. You sure it went through? Oh, I don't know. I agree with you, but there should be other countries' ground troops going into Iran, not ours. Saudi Arabia has could send ground troops in. So could other, Jordan, other countries, not ours. Not a lot anyway. I mean, if we wanted to take like Karg Island or something, or maybe push in on the coast up to the, something, take some land, but I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I don't have that answer. So here's this guy talking. This is a guy in the military. Look at that. What are you doing, Bella?
All praise is due to Allah, who has united the hearts of the believers in Islam and has made it an obligation to remain united and has made it forbidden to become separated in his clear book. I bear witness that there is nothing worthy of worship except Allah, who guides to the straight path whom he wills. And I bear witness that our leader Muhammad is his messenger and the best caller to the way that is straight. O Allah, send your prayers and your peace upon our leader Muhammad and upon his family and upon his companions, whose hearts were united and whose souls were educated, so that they became victorious leaders. And what follows thereafter, O believers of Allah, I advise you as well as I advise myself to first have the proper regard for Allah and thereafter be obedient to him.
Go ahead and gather this way. Gather this way, please. So Training Slatton has been here at basic military training for how long now? A month, sir. He's been here for a month. All right, he's going into his 5th week of training. And he's been coming to the religious education classes where we teach about what is it that Muslims believe and practice. And he's informed.
This shit needs to stop like fucking yesterday. I have confidence in POTUS and the forces under his command. They are not blowing up the launching stations. They are isolating them with sophisticated systems to prevent access to them. Roaches check out, but they can't come back in. Okay. No boots on the ground in Japan. Oh, yeah, Douglas, that was true. That did happen. That did happen. That did happen. I don't know what Bella's doing over here. Just like chilling out. So I don't want to watch anymore. This is just aggravating me and pissing me off, but it's crazy. Pay attention. We need Muslims in the FBI and CIA. This is our long game out loud. All right, this is crazy. That's just crazy stuff. We got this. At Portland City Council meeting on June 17th, far-left extremists, including those with violent criminal histories, showed up to intimidate the council into banning ICE. Wow.
We are now moving to item 5. Colleagues, this resolution, item 5,
affirms that the city is eligible to receive.
Sweeping out ISIS driveway, acting like they're unpaid jailers. When are we actually going to stand up for being the sanctuary city? When are we going to do it?
Look at these freaks. Look at this freak show. This is who these freak shows should all be in mental hospitals, not running around. Islamic Muslims will never assimilate to our way of life. Get your ass to jail. It's crazy. Make mental hospitals great again. You ain't kidding. This is just nuts, man. Just nuts. Like, I don't know what else is going on. This just keeps going. More of them. See, here's another one threatening people. Just keeps happening, threatening people, and they think it's cool, and they're clapping for them. Yay, yay, yay. Check this out. So, Miami police rushed to help a man who was attacked by a group of teens. The female officer was seen sitting in her cruiser resigns. Officers arrived to find a victim covered in blood, lying on the ground. Video shows a group surrounding the victim destroying his car. The video also shows the female officer sitting in her cruiser doing nothing during the incident. She later resigned, was charged with neglect or inattention to duty. Yeah, just like, oh, she's like, I don't want to have to actually do my job.
Officers arrived to find the victim covered in blood and lying on the street, unable to clearly explain what happened.
Clearly unable to explain what happened. Look at it. All this stuff happening. The cops show up. All right. And the woman cop was just sitting in her car watching the whole thing happen. Just sit in her car, watch the whole thing happen. Why don't you get out of your car? Oh, I couldn't do nothing. What do you want me to do? I'm just a woman. Well, I guess maybe you shouldn't have been a cop then. That's what I think. That's just, just that woman in particular. Look at this. A Pride Gestapo approached us, demanding we turn off our cameras and leave the Pride Festival in Baltimore. Security guards approached us and said we were unauthorized media. The guard demanded we vacate the premises. He seemed to be bluffing by claiming to have authority that he didn't actually have in an attempt to intimidate us into compliance. What the goon overlooked was that the event was being held on public property. You should have seen them outside. Tommy Boy and others streamed it. I can imagine. Do you agree with me that Nixon was great? He was reelected with 49 states, one of the most popular presidents. The left could not stand him, and they brought him down. Yeah, Nixon was Nixon. It was an op. It was a coup to get rid of Nixon. He was the most popular president I think ever. Got percentage-wise most votes and stuff like that. Won 49 states in a landslide. And first thing they did, because they knew they had to get him out, because in actuality he was asking questions about the JFK assassination. So. So what did they do? They got rid of Spiro Agnew, his vice president, and installed Gerald Ford, who was on the Warren Commission, to be his vice president. And then the whole thing with the whole Watergate break-in stuff, it was not Nixon, had nothing to do with it. That was a CIA, FBI plot to get rid of Nixon. At this point, I think the Scots will come back and fight with us. Long live William Wallace. Okay. Why would anyone join the Democrat Party with this insanity? It's crazy. It is. It's nuts. No woman should be a patrol, Leo. Period. You got to be able to do stuff, man. Got to be able to do stuff. In Europe, they invaded the mosque where the young Muslims were trained and radicalized, and they still keep building mosques. Yeah, it's nuts. As a woman, I don't want women cops. They're too weak. I mean, if they can do the job, they can do the job, but they need to be able to meet the same standards. And if they don't do it, my worst police experience have been with bulldog cops on a power trip. Oh, that'll happen. You hate Nixon for making modern day China? It wasn't actually Nixon that did that. Nixon opened up China to trade with us, but it was actually Jimmy Carter who recognized the CCP as the correct government of China as opposed to Taiwan, the ROC, the Republic of China, which Taiwan, whatever, Formosa Island, whatever you want to call it. They were who we recognized as a true government, as a legit government, and it was Jimmy Carter that says, there's only one China, and it's going to be the communists. That was Jimmy Carter. Forrest Gump was a patsy to think on Nixon. Yeah. So these events, they permit them to have privileges to set up everything. Why do they think the First Amendment ends and it allows them to discount our privileges? Let's see.
Public property. All right, look, check this out. Because
y'all not authorized media, y'all gotta vacate the premises, all right?
Public property. I have a First Amendment right to be here.
Because, again, this is what it is. You're not authorized media. You have to vacate.
It is what it is. A permanent event on public property. I do not have to leave.
You have listen to what I'm saying, and I'm saying this as delicate as I possibly can. You're not authorized media. You have to vacate the premises.
You're not intimidating me.
And I'm not trying to intimidate you.
Yep.
Trust me. I'm far from doing that. And
Yep.
this is coming from the events organizer. You have to vacate.
I'm not going to listen to the events organizer. Cool. You can get a police officer if you want. That's cool. Have a good day. Again, they have no authority to tell me to vacate public property. I'm not going to. They have a Baltimore police vehicle, a cop car that actually has a pride and trans flag on it, painted on it. Should this be allowed? Is this an impartial police department? Very interesting that has been painted on with taxpayer funds.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? You already hated Carter, me too. Carter also hooked up China with the WEF and global funding marches, if I recall correctly. Yeah, Carter did a lot of stuff. Carter gave away Panama. We should send all the invaders to Somalia. Somalia has plenty of our money, so they can take care of them. Yeah, they can. They can do it all. Let's see here. So Syria's president denies wanting to intervene in Lebanon. Well, of course he denies it. He's got his own problems. Syrian President Ahmad al-Shara denied on Sunday that his country sought to intervene. In the military conflict in Lebanon after U.S. President repeatedly suggested Damascus could get involved. We are looking for economic channels between Lebanon and Syria, not military ones, Shara said in a broadcast. On Sunday, Trump told Fox News he was disappointed Israel can't put Hezbollah away. That cop is an absolute dumbass. He doesn't understand the Constitution. Well, that wasn't a cop. That was a security guard for the event. He voted at age 100 while in a coma. Yeah, Carter just voted in the past election when he couldn't. That's what he looked like in the chair, but somehow he voted. Shara said in Sunday's interview, we propose with the United States that the war must stop, adding there must be various solutions, including economic, political, social, and the reestablishment of relations and vital economic lifeline between Syria and Lebanon. Yeah, so get in there and kick some ass. That's what he should do. Two men went on violent knife rampages in Edinburgh this year, injuring multiple people. One is branded a terrorist and dominated headlines. The other was deemed mentally ill and quietly buried. Can you guess which one? Yeah, can you guess which one was called a terrorist? Carter gave away the Panama Canal for like $1. He was a complete loser. Yeah. It was also Carter, whose national security advisor and team around him told him to let the Shah get pushed out of Iran. Go ahead, don't worry about it. It'll be fine with the Ayatollah. Cops in Baltimore are probably more illiterate than the security guard. Probably. Carter will still be voting Dem after his death. Probably. All right, Bella's over here drinking again. Oh, she's looking for something on a rug, I guess. I don't know. This is why Carter will always be worse than Biden. He knew what he was doing. Yeah, he knew what he was doing. He did it. Oh, check this out. Many people are confused, so let me clarify. This program is only for hookers in Buffalo and New York City. I'm not joking. Hookers from Rochester, Syracuse, and Albany will need to continue utilizing the other free state-funded health care they were already getting through Medicaid. Huckle extends free healthcare program for hookers and taxpayers. Will foot the bill. Wow. Wow, can you believe it? Have you heard about this? Have you seen this? Hochul extends free health care program for sex workers. Oh, I'm glad they got all this money. They should probably be figuring out a way to not take so much of our money. Huckle has quietly extended a pilot program providing free health care to sex workers with taxpayers' money. The department awarded $1 million in public funds to 2 contractors as part of the program. Is Bella starting to get to the age when kidneys start to act up a little bit? A little bit. She's getting up there. She's got to go out more. Hochul smells like the WEF. Yep, sure does. Sure does. I don't know what she's looking for. She might need to go out. I don't know. We'll see. Carter got worked by our CIA after he fired a bunch of them on Halloween. Yeah, he did. He fired a whole bunch of CIA. And the new people came in, and the CIA people that came in were idiots. Strippers are an incel tax. They sure are. Carter ignored the intelligence. He sure did. It doesn't matter who is American. People do not understand the Constitution. Yeah, they don't. Why can't we, the people, run our country instead of all these assholes up on the hill? Well, it should be like that. Kathy Hochul is trying to finish her term with her face falling off. I don't think that's legal to support a criminal enterprise with government aid. You wouldn't think so. My husband used to say there were 2 Americas, pre-JFK assassination America and the Post. Beforehand, it was leave it to Beaver, yes sir, no sir, crew cuts, patriotism. After that, people lost hope. Yeah. It was messed up, man. It was messed up. Sex workers in New York City and Buffalo area will continue to receive primary sexual, behavioral, and dental care. Wow, dental care. Do the hookers pay taxes? Probably not. No, I think Carter was stupid about world events. He was a patsy president like Biden was. He thought he was smart. He thought he was smart. What are you doing, Bella? What are you doing over there? Go lay down. Critics bashed the hooker healthcare program, which was launched without state legislature approval. Oh, so she thinks she's a king. She thinks she's a king and could just launch things. She's the queen. She doesn't need legislature approval. She can just do things and launch programs and spend money. That's what she thinks. That's what she thinks. That's what the whole Hochul did. Free gynecologists for sure. Yeah, they check them out. Make sure they're not giving probably we're worried about them giving politicians some kind of clap or something. Good to see you, Jer. Carter knew what he was doing. I think so. Blakeman has to win. Can't that beautiful 1950s America ever come back? Will the second or third generation of Hispanics or grandkids of the invaders eventually become conservatives like their pundits predict? I think I don't. I think anybody could become an American. Anybody could believe, in the promise of America, the freedom, and all, everything that it offers. I worry that too many people are coming here though that want to change America. They all want it to become like their home country. More communist, more socialist, more things. They want free shit. We got too many Gibbs me dats, and that's going to be a problem. They should have medical prostitute cards for men. Yeah, why not? Hey, good to see you too. They also ripped the politics behind the move, accusing Hochul of extending the pilot to satisfy Zoran Mandami and the other far-left Democrats who want to decriminalize prostitution. If you bleed red, white, and blue, your skin and background do not matter. That's right, absent-minded. It does not matter. It's the only thing you can sell and still own it. Okay, so we got this from Andy No saying that he got bomb threats against Trump discovered.
It's independent journalist Andy Ngo. I've exclusively obtained the videos that were used by federal prosecutors in North Carolina to charge a man with making threats to kill President Trump. You can watch the uncensored video and read more about the case at my Substack, ngocomment.com.
So like I'm saying, Donald Trump, I'ma kill you. My name, Christopher Carnes, 3/18/1993. Donald J. Trump, I'm gonna kill you. And I gotta do what I gotta do to get in front of a fucking judge, so that way the fucking judge can figure out what the fuck is going on. I know exactly what I'm saying. Charge me with a terroristic threat and act. I'm good. Yeah, I say I ain't got no bomb in my car for real, right? You know what this consists of? This PVC blaster here? You know what this consists of right here? This PVC blaster. Do you know what this consists of? You know how much pressure that a CBC pipe like this can hold? Seal.
He doesn't even know that it's PVC pipe, not CBC pipe. For free, by the way. Yeah. What's up, Channel? Good to see you. You shouldn't have a healthcare system for an illicit industry. We already have that. It's called public clinics where you can be a poor or a prostitute, get tested for STDs. I remember when Phil Collins came out with Another Day in Paradise and how sad the prostitute's life is. Now the left are calling them sex workers. Yeah, they got to be, all this stuff. It's crazy. Yes, politicians shouldn't get healthcare. Yeah, right. They shouldn't. Politicians should not get healthcare. Tomorrow I go in for my results of my biopsy. Doctor said it doesn't look good. I want to know my expiration. Oh my God, Salty C. I'm praying for you. I will pray for you. She's funding fraud and human trafficking, Rico. That's what I say. Yeah. 70 IQ. You think that high? You think 70 IQ? I think that's high. Remember when Phil Collins came out? I already saw that. So they're calling them sex workers and pretending their job. It's a legit job. Demons. Yes, they're all demons. That's why I call them demon rats. I call them demon rats. Trump calls them Democrats. I call them demon rats. It holds about 40 pounds of pressure. Yeah. But it's not CBC. It's PVC. Like, this guy don't even know what the fucking pipe is called.
You know what a motherfucker do when he know he ain't fucking crazy and he got his motherfucking keys? So I want to show you something of how sick this is, how long this is. I've told you, Donald Trump, I'm not that person for bluff calling. So now that I know that the government know that I actually really have a live bomb in my car, you say, well, it ain't live yet. I say, it ain't. I say, okay. I said, well, you fuck around and come find out.
Please subscribe to support my work.
That's got to be the stupidest fucking person I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. According to a criminal complaint filed in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of North Carolina, Christopher Key Torian Carnes of Georgia State allegedly posted videos between May and June in which he promised to kill the president. After local authorities detained Carnes in Raleigh, North Carolina, a police bomb squad searched his vehicle. A police dog alerted to the possible presence of explosives. Polyvinyl chloride, PVC. Yeah, polyvinyl. I know. Wait till he learns about ABC pipe. Yeah. Must think it's free speech. Well, that's not free speech. I thought you were going to point out the illicit industry was politics. Yeah, no, it is. Officers recovered empty PVC pipes, a metal pin matching items shown in the videos. Carnes is charged with threatening the president in violation of federal law, felony punished by up to 5 years in prison. So, well, what about the bomb? He did have a bomb, didn't he? If they alerted to the stuff, what did they find? You don't have to respond to this if you don't want to because of how my family were abused by the EBT community. I've secretly been a Confederate sympathizer since high school. I don't know how to respond to that. Some people just want to go to jail. I say send them. Yeah. So then incredible headway made in Boyle Heights warehouse blaze. Fire chief says with smoke expected for 3 more days. So they can't even put out a fire in a warehouse in LA now. Smoke continues to billow from a large Boyle Heights warehouse, cold storage facility, days after into a complex firefight. Moore kicked off an afternoon news conference saying he had great news for everybody as crews working around the clock. The battle flames at the 500,000 square foot Lineage Big Bear facility, which stores frozen foods. We changed tactics using a larger 3,000 gallon water dropping helicopters. We did those flights, then we started to go back to our traditional methods. I mean, why didn't they just use hoses? It's on the ground. You can surround it with hoses and just put it out. It's a small world ride at Disney needs to be repopulated with all these people. Fun times. Absence minded says Tannerite would be the best civilian could get. You have to be intelligent to get that paperwork and whatnot. make homeroom materials require a lot more intelligence. They do have a cookbook you can look into, though. Just saying, if you're into anarchy. Overnight crews use excavators to tear off part of the building's exterior wall. Now we have is a free burning fire with Class A combustibles. Oh, Class A, good. I would anticipate this smoke for about 2 more days, possibly 3. They just bulldozed the walls down. Yeah. I guess that's one way to fight a fire is just let it burn out. The building also used ammonia in its refrigeration system to maintain extremely low temperatures for frozen food storage, which may have fueled the fire on its initial day of burning. Isn't this the one that had all the solar panels on top that started on fire? And this is like the 3rd or 4th time that's happened because the solar panels just burst into flames because they're all connected with stuff to places that people don't like us. That's all I'll say about that. What protects everything from the weather, what the temperature is outside, is the rubber. And that's exactly what happened here. The rubber caught on fire. It's very toxic. More said the building's internal temperature remains about 45 degrees because of the insulation. So the fire was on the roof. And the building is still cold. Huh. He added the nature of materials inside had made the fire difficult to control. The foam insulation continues to burn slowly once ignited. Crews have relied on continuous helicopter drops since the start of the incident. Officials have used large aerial ladder pipes directing thousands of gallons of water per minute onto the building to contain the blaze. We stepped up our game. I recently reached out to the county and we started using contract helicopters. They dropped 3,000 gallons at a time. At about 5:10 p.m. on Saturday, aerial footage showed another flare up in the middle of the roof building, another massive plume of smoke. Entry inside has not yet been made due to dangerous conditions. I heard there is no water in the hydrants once again. That's what I heard too. Yep, the stupid solar panels likely started a fire. Green ones again. Yep, they did. They know it was the solar panels. If you look at, there's pictures of it. I don't know if they'll show them here. It's just all the solar panels burnt. You can not get a legit copy of the cookbook anymore unless you were one of the lucky ones to get the original publication. Any cookbook now is full of misinformation to cause failure. Oh. As far as a boil height fire, my daughter, who's in the vicinity, said the smoke turned from black to white about 5 hours ago. Revoked citizenship sent to Somaliland. The reservoir is still empty in Los Angeles. Yes, it is. Many of the solar panels have been de-energized and multiple lithium-ion batteries have been removed from the building, significantly reducing hazards for both the firefighters and surrounding community. Mayor Bass in Newscomb declared a state of emergency, enabling state resources to be used. A fucking fire causes a state of emergency. So this is what it looks like on the roof. That's like around the edges and stuff. It looks all wavy now. There's solar panels there. You can see. That's crazy. That's crazy. Uh, 85 million pounds of frozen food is still inside a facility. Firefighters say access is extremely limited. 85 million pounds of frozen food. That's a lot of food. Okay, beautiful Jimsomniacs. One more happy Father's Day to all. Have a good night. Anyone who reloads their own ammo can figure it out. Night, Joe. Isn't this like the 4th major warehouse fire in California to go up this month? Yeah, it is. Medical supplies, frozen foods. What's next? You ain't kidding. Thank you, Eileen. I just discovered this channel tonight. You're many rugs above anyone else on YouTube in terms of your sheer knowledge of American history and current events. Well, thank you. I try. I know a lot of useless stuff, but it's just all information. You know, I like to read a lot and study a lot and do a lot of stuff and just basically talk to people. It's a way out for these companies backed by insurance money. Could be. How many electric cars will take to offset the fire? I don't know. There's enough to do it. Remember when Harry Reid tried to use the BLM to steal the Bundy Ranch to build that CCP solar farm? Yeah, Bureau of Land Management. Yes, I remember. Yep. Lots of ancient historic temples going up in flames in Japan. Yeah, it's the Muslims doing it in Japan. All that food is slowly beginning to rot. It's no longer frozen. It's warming up and starting to spoil. Initially, it was reported to us the majority of the product was bread and wheat products. However, we're slowly learning as we get into this building. It's far from that. There's a lot of meat products. Moore said that it's chicken, beef, and pork and fish were being stored inside. Officials stressed that crews are not entering the building or attempting to manually remove product. That's a lot of food. A lot of food. Yeah. Yeah, he's right. The chat ain't too shabby. You keep me honest. Well, sometimes I make mistakes, just like anyone else, or I misremember something. Not sure what's happening. Just got here, but our food supply has been under attack for a long time. I don't see how solar panels could have caused the fire. Lithium batteries, sure. Arson. What could be arson, Michael? Could be. But they're saying, like, I saw reports that said that these solar panels had caught fire before. So I don't know. Instead, they are working to isolate unaffected areas while evaluating how to safely remove remaining goods before spoilage creates additional biohazard concerns. A state of emergency in California means state of embezzling funds. That's right. Grizzle says, yeah, it's arson. Majority of solar panels come from China. Yeah, this could be, I mean, in all reality, I hate to say it, but this could be China trying to, basically, they know where these solar panels, every solar panel that comes from China has a cellular receiver in it so that they could do stuff, turn it on, turn it off, do things with it. Maybe they can blow it up. Who knows? We could be in the middle of, whatever they call it, like a, irregular warfare. Arson, my ass, commies and incompetence, all it takes to see a civilization burned. Yeah, it's not a bad. What we're trying to do now is figure out the uninvolved area, how we can remove food before it starts spoiling and become a biohazard. So, no reported injuries, no evacuation, no shelter in place. Can't remember his name. Finnegan. Don't solar panels work by collecting heat? They do collect heat, but no, it's so much the solar radiation. You know what I mean? It's light hitting it, photons. They're photovoltaic. Yeah, they're photovoltaic. They convert light into electricity. Yeah. Sheik Your Booty says, shake your booty. Hey, what's up? I was the last person to believe life on other planets, but after I watched the Age of Disclosure, I was convinced. Statistically, there are other planets with humanoid civilization. Opinion. I think it's quite possible. I think it's, in my opinions, I think, yes. I think the universe is too vast for there to not be other life somewhere. Stop these, our investors waiting to collapse the society just like they did in Seattle and all the states that were affected by BLM. Yeah. So they're not concerned about the fire spreading or anything like that. So the conversion is very inefficient, about 28%. Yeah, no, photovoltaics are not good. Not good at all. Not good at all. That's the thing. That by the time before you ever recover your investment to buy them, they're no good anymore. And the hotter and believe it or not, the hotter they get, the less efficient they are. So in places like Florida, Texas, California, where it gets hot, they don't work as good as they do in other places where they don't get as much sun. So then they don't work as good there because they don't get as much sun. So it's just crazy. Just crazy. So this says Trump-backed hardliner Abelardo de la Espriella will be Colombia's next president, promising mega prisons and military offensives against the cartel. Polymarket projects Al Tigre has won the Colombian presidency. Wow, 199% chance. Wow. Trump endorsed right-wing Colombian president, stuns the world and wins the presidential election. He plans to go full Bukele mode, locking up criminals en masse. Under my government, any bandit who resists will be eliminated as appropriate. And if he submits, he will be imprison him in a mega prison so he can pay his debt to justice as they should. The only peace process I believe in is one imposed by the force of arms and the laws of the republic. Wow. I hope this guy's serious.
Presidente, 14 millones, 66% hoy, 14 millones.
He did. That's interesting stuff here. What's this? A Christian preacher was reportedly stabbed earlier today in the UK. This was just 4 hours ago, by the way. The man in the incident speaking with police is the suspect and has been arrested. Honestly, at this point, I'm surprised the UK cops didn't put the recently stabbed preacher in cuffs. This is nuts, man.
To root that police.
Well, they have to be when people aren't.
Oh my God, they're putting up, what you call it? Tape. See, putting up tape. Oh, Steve, I never saw it happen to you.
Wow. So that's what's happening. This is what's happening in the UK. It's still happening all the time. It's crazy. It's crazy what's going on in the UK. It really is. It really is. Who's live? It's just nuts, man. Just nuts what's going on. I can't believe this. Are they going to fight? Are they going to do anything? Are they going to do anything? Who knows if they're going to do anything about it? Who really knows? Nobody knows. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows the sorrow. It's just crazy. It really is. I can't believe it. I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe what is happening in this world. Oh, okay, cool. Keir Starmer resigned. Good. Oh, UK police were asking the preacher, what did he say to instigate the stabber? Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's what's going on. So Keir Starmer leadership crisis finally comes to a head as Andy Burnham will be sworn in within hours. Keir Starmer is finally set to outline his plans to quit today, setting the stage for Andy Burnham to become Britain's seventh prime minister in a decade. This is crazy. It's anti-white, Jim. Oh, I know it is. I know what's going on in the UK. It's crazy. It's crazy. I always thought the climate cultists were all serious about ending fossil fuels. They would need to consider nuclear. It was an obvious scam from the start. Yeah, you can't do it. Can't do it without nuclear. There's no way. No way to do it without nuclear. No way to do it without nuclear. It just can't happen. Just can't happen. Just can't happen. It can't happen. Can't happen. Keir Starmer is planning to cling on. It was said to be planning to cling on until autumn, but now he's going to exit before the Labor Congress, where the new leader can rally the troops. Why do you think the movie China Syndrome was produced? Yeah, it was produced just to scare people. Terrorists? It could be. Could be terrorists. Could be. Old boss, same as the new one. Yeah. Always. Bella looks so sweet. Yeah, she's tired. I think she's got to go outside. So Starmer is a Fabian Society member replaced with another Fabian Burnham. WF machine marches on. Yeah, it sure does, man. It sure does. Yeah. We'll do it real quick. Do this. So yeah, real quick. Wait, what? Yeah. This is what happens when the aliens see us putting out windmills and again after we have harnessed fission. This is the most ghetto shit I've seen in my entire life. Yeah, that's Indian. That's how the aliens feel about it. That's how they feel about it. Burnham's thought to want to prepare policies to build a team for running the country, a process which Steer Keir's drawn-out exit could help. Given the big decisions that we have to be made during this time, there's a risk Burnham's premiership ends up being defined by Starmer's. You would think with King Charles' ancestry, you would think. English Catholic Church, aka COE, is doomed. Archbishop of Canterbury. Wow. What's this? Archbishop of Canterbury promised to help give Palestinians the freedom you deserve. Oh my God. Oh my God. What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? Seriously, what is wrong with these people? So Keir Starmer's gone. The Archbishop of Canterbury wants to give Palestinians the freedom they deserve. Charles converted to Islam. I'm starting to think that's true. We have magic rocks that boil water, and these idiots are pushing windmills. Yeah, it's crazy. Nothing will change in Great Britain. Deportation require enormous support from politicians. They don't have it. Someone's got to do something. 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 Something. This land was our Savior's home, and it's your home. Oh, okay. That's what the Archbishop said, huh? What do they do to Christians there, though, Mr. Archbishop? What will happen if you go there? He promised to give Palestinians the freedom they deserve on a landmark visit to West Bank. I will not forget that I have seen and what I've heard. I cannot forget you. I will use my role as Archbishop to seek peace you desire. The 64-year-old began her 5-day pilgrimage. Wait a minute. The Archbishop of Canterbury is a fucking woman? What is going on here? I'm aware of certain freedoms that many do not enjoy. What do they do to women there, huh? I'm deeply humbled by this opportunity. I recognize the cause. This is fucking ridiculous. This is good. There you go, England, with your stupid purple fucking collars. Ugh. Such a fucking joke. It's the Church of England, Jim, not a real religion. Oh, I know. It's just still ridiculous, though. It's still ridiculous. Still ridiculous. Still fucking ridiculous. Secretary of State Rubio has just spoken with Colombian President-elect Albadero Esparilla, officially recognizing him as the country's next leader. President Petro will try and fail to override the election results. Socialists are livid tonight. Just spoke to President-elect Abdel to congratulate him on his election victory. The Trump administration looks forward to working closely with your incoming administration. Colombia's best days are ahead of it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Good for them. Colombia. I have some bad news. The Colorado teacher was fired for forcing girls to make out in class. Got a new job as an elementary school teacher and Malley Drive Elementary School. You can contact the superintendent here. This woman. Here it is. Denver Public School Board just voted unanimously to dismiss LGBTQ teacher Jennifer Honka after she reportedly made female students kiss each other and graded them on it. Believe this?
I move that the board hereby accepts both the evidentiary and ultimate findings of fact of the hearing officer, the recommendation of the hearing officer that Ms. Jennifer Honka be dismissed on the grounds of incompetence and neglect of duty, and that the board enter its written order as required by TACTA that Ms. Honka be dismissed with immediate effect.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the floor is now open for debate. Seeing none, Ms. Atwood, would you please call roll?
Director De La Rosa? Aye. Director Gaitan?
Aye.
Director Hunter?
Aye.
Director Klein-Molk?
Aye.
Director Sia?
Aye.
Dr. Torres?
Aye.
Mr. Youngquist?
Yes.
Thank you. With that, the motion passes. Thank you, David.
Should go straight to jail. Should go straight to jail. Totally. Well, everybody, we didn't hit the goal for the second additional hour. So unfortunately, that's going to be it for this wonderful evening. If you're on YouTube, I'm going to send you over to Pat Dixon. If you're on Rumble, I'm going to send you over to someone else. I don't know. We'll see. But I want to thank everybody who was here. And please remind you to come back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All right. 7 p.m. Eastern Time, all week long, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That's where we're going to be. That'll be our time all week, 7 p.m. Good night, everybody. Come on back for Jim to tell you the news.